Hello, and welcome to Have At Us Reviews for Your Pleasure. I'm Nietzsche.
And I'm Josh.
And today we are doing a nice bonus episode for you. This is bonus episode 1, Endwalker. And we are talking about Endwalker, Final Fantasy XIV's newest expansion, of which right now you cannot buy this game, because that is how great this expansion is.
Yeah, it's a VIP club kind of situation. Yoshi P has to let you in the door himself.
So we're going to talk about the entire expansion all the way up to raids, all the spoilers on anything and everything. That will include role quests. Basically, most everything you can think about will probably get talked about in some fashion. So, you need to get your snacks, get your drinks, buckle in. It's going to be a nice, lengthy discussion about how great this expansion is. We're going to try and go through in a nice, kind of orderly, story-oriented fashion that will probably be full of lots of tangents, looking like a tree by the end of it. Now, what do you think about the very beginning, getting into Charlion? Let's start here.
I'm on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hearing answers, and I'm like, this song. It's a good thing I like this song. I don't really get tired of this song, but that's kind of it's a good song to set the mood. You talk to your girl, Heidelin, and you're like, okay, we're just going to start off with your NPC being named Heidelin. It's like, okay, I'm a little interested. Some, promise of times past. Great. It's alright. I feel like the first cutscenes are pretty okay. I don't think they're super exciting. I kind of wanted something to pull me in a little faster, to be honest. I think it takes a little bit of time before you start picking it up, but I think it's good. I like the scenes when you get to Charlion and you kind of have to go through in an orderly fashion and talk to the receptionist, and she has a lot of good things to say about us and how good we are.
She is real skeptical about a lot of things, which is fine. I really like the first bit on the ship, though, where you wake up and Grahatia's up with you, and he's like, hello, fellow early riser or whatever. And I was like, yeah, buddy, because you know what time it is? It's like 2 a.m, buddy. Probably a little earlier, because I was on ride at 1. And I was like, yeah, buddy, I'm already feeling like this was not the best decision, but it will be by the end, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I like that scene.
What I found very odd is, why are we like stowaways? We don't have like a bed. We don't have a quarters. We're just sitting on the wall sleeping, I guess. Where are the other Scions? Do they get beds? Was I gypped out of one? I don't really understand.
No, the other Scions didn't get beds because they're up on deck.
Yeah, I don't know why we're sleeping at the wall. It's a little weird.
You gotta get a lot of people to Charlion. It's an exclusive one-way ticket, okay?
Yeah.
They're very special people, and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not good enough to get cool passages anywhere, okay? You just gotta give that up.
I mean, the majority of them have already been there, or are citizens of there.
Okay, but that just means they could Etherite over. Right?
Why didn't they?
Yeah, that's the deal. So I feel like we did really good with the Etherites in general in this expansion. We actually used them, and we talked about it, and we did some things with them. We didn't act like they didn't exist.
Yeah.
But that is a point where I'm like, I don't know. Because Yustola and Thancred and Marina J just wanted to, take a ride on the boat with us. I guess Grahatia definitely wanted to take a ride on the boat with us, because he has also already been there.
Well, wherever we're going, Grahatia's going. That's his attitude.
You did get stuck with Grahatia pretty frequently. He was like, yeah, I'll go, yeah.
Oh, you need me? Of course.
Yeah, buddy, I would love to spend time with the Warrior Light. But yeah, custom scene, basically. That was fine and whatever until Instinian gets up there.
Yeah.
Which I feel like was the only point, was the funny scene with Instinian. And I was like, yeah, buddy, you are now a mercenary. And his little dialogue in that was good.
I liked the scene, but what kind of ruined it for me was that within 2 minutes of finishing that scene, there was like 100 people in shout chat yelling, oh man, that was the funniest thing ever. Wow, ha 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 ha. Isn't this so funny? And then I was already tired of it.
Oh, you got in like an hour later than I did, though, right?
Yeah, I had to switch to Bunny Boy, and that delayed things. But I did it. I made it in. Took an hour.
Yeah, so nobody was saying really anything when I went through Charlion. People didn't really start shout-chatting a bunch of crap until I got to Labyrinthos, which is where I went first. But yeah, Insidious was funny there. I liked that. But that's about it. on that. And then, we're all helping the students of Aldessian. Because, we're super cool, I guess. I'm never really sure what they are or why they exist until there's some points in this expansion that kind of explain that.
For students learning about Baldessian, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, you missed out a whole lot. There was like 3 hours of cutscenes dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm. You summarized 3 hours of cutscenes into that.
Yeah, I mean, it really got out of hand, but it was pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was. But yeah, that's fine. But I don't really feel like there's anything else like that's cool that happens.
In Charlian?
Until you leave to your areas.
Yeah, at Charlian, we get there. Oh no, the forum's being mean to us, as we knew would happen. Okay, guess we gotta split up, because of course we gotta split up in every expansion. It's very important.
I kind of forget legit that's how it goes. I get there and I'm like, oh, I hate this. I'm like, why does this have to happen? And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a traditional thing that happens every single expansion.
Does it happen in Stormblood? I don't remember splitting up.
Oh, maybe you don't. But you split by area, like naturally in the story.
Yeah.
Where you gotta go there and then come back. And
that's its own split. But
that's equally kind of annoying.
But yeah, and then Shadowbringers, of course, got another split decision. They just like to do it. I would rather them do something else. But whatever. I kind of was like, fine. I also went to Labyrintho first because it was the one I was least interested in. And I was like, okay, I'll get this part done.
I just thought that it was going to be, the worst section.
Yep.
And who'd you go to Labyrintho with? Yeah, you went with the twins?
Pistola.
Yeah, but I went whichever one Alize is going to first. I will go there to get that section out of the way, and then I will move on to a good section that will be funnier. But yeah, so Labyrinthos, you meet your best friend.
Erenval.
That is Vale.
Vale,
I don't know. It's kind of a weird looking thing.
Mr. Accent.
He's got a heavy accent.
Yeah.
Like a really thick accent. He's kind of weird looking. But that's fine. He helps me out way, way later, I guess. He's fine.
Yeah, like he's like a perfectly fine C-tier character that serves a point for this expansion, and maybe in 3 expansions he'll get a little reunion scene and it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you, and then I'll move on. But honestly, I mean, he's fine. I like how sure of himself he is when we're toads, and he just knows. He seems to be knowledgeable.
He's pretty okay. Yeah, that was the only, notable scene with him, I feel like. Only notable scene that's good. Because I definitely remember the scene where we're in Ishgard, and there he randomly is, walking along, seeing this guy fall down. And I'm like, why? He could have not been there, and that scene would have had the same effect. I don't know why he was there.
Well, they took so much time to craft his character that they had to put it in more scenes.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't love him, but that's fine. I saw people chat about how cool he was, though.
Yeah, some people were saying he was husband material.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely husband material.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he works hard and,
He's never home. Don't have to worry about that.
I mean, that was not a part of the husband material that I saw listed, but maybe the people you saw were a little more questionable. So,
The best scene of Labyrinthos is getting a flower. With Crow being taken over by Heidelin. That's kind of interesting. And then you get a cool flower.
I really liked that flower.
The Elpis flower.
I was a little saddened when my Elpis flower was gone.
Oof. Yeah, it just turned to ashes.
I was just like, oh no, I thought we were going to have this flower for so long, and then we didn't.
No.
And I was a little saddened.
But I feel like that's maybe the only good scene of Labyrinthos Part 1. It was not really that exciting of an area, to be honest.
Yeah, there wasn't much happening. I didn't really care about it. Now, the most important part is the music. And I feel like people were hating on that music pretty hardcore. And I was like, it's fine. It's not great. I don't need the entire expansion to sound like this. But it's one of the few tracks that doesn't sound basically the same or like a track we've already heard. So I'll give you at least tried and did something. And while it's not great, it's serviceable for the area.
It is unique. But, I just did some Fates today in that area, and I had to listen to it. And I lasted about 30 seconds before I turned my BGM to 0 and turned on my own music. I was just like, no, this gets old really fast.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad. But, I don't know, a lot of people were hating on it. I haven't seen people hating on it recently. Now, I did not do much in Labyrinthos outside of the story. I did like 5 fates there originally to get my first little boost in experience gain, and then that was about it. I didn't care to do extra crap there. I don't like how this area is designed, though. I don't like the tier system. It's really, really annoying.
It's a little aggravating going through the first time. Once you can fly, whatever. But it is not super fun the first time through. I feel like there's a lot of space in there that's just kind of useless. Like, I guess it's thematically sound for like a zone. I think it's pretty decent. And I think it looks kind of cool. But like the center at the bottom, it's just this huge ring. And I don't, it's like, okay, kind of a lot of wasted space.
Like, I just don't feel like it worth my time to like do that crap. And I go through, expansion, and I do all the dang side quests. And this area was especially bad at like, oh yeah, that's all the way over there. Great. Let me run back up this stupid cave so I can run all the way over here so that I can teleport back here.
That's a lot of fun.
It's really stupid and it's annoying, right? Other areas were not as bad, but the side quests in general this round were written better. Like, they seemed more poignant and relevant to the story, and I felt cool doing my stuff and saving people. The, like, side story quests, like the chains, they were all pretty decent. That was a good one. In Labyrinthos, I like that one. My little Yeti friend.
Yep.
He used to become a scholar by the actual very end.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it was. I was really happy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, buddy, you're cool. Because he's just sitting there being a jerk to his like, keeper or whatever the whole time. I thought it was pretty funny.
I have yet to do more than 2 side quests in this expansion. That's all I've done.
That's a lie, because you can fly in every area.
I haven't done the things after that. If it's a blue quest marker, I'm counting that as a necessary quest.
That's a side quest.
No, that's necessary.
That's a side quest.
No.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
It is. Just telling you right now. That's a side quest. You're wrong.
Nope. Blue markers are special.
I need people to explain to Josh that side quests include Etherite or Ether current quests.
Nope.
Yep. Write that in there. Tell him how wrong he is, how foolish he is, how he should just stop playing 14.
That's true. I should. But yeah, no, this zone, not great. This next zone was a lot better.
Thavnir is much, much better. I like the music in that area. I didn't feel like I had to run everywhere. I didn't like that the design is like just this weird cut-off crater thing. Because I feel the need to unlock the map and do my ether currents. And like, that was really annoying and stupid. Now, that's just partially how I run things, and it was kind of annoying. But overall, the zone was better. The zone was a lot better. I was more interested in the story, and my little friends, my good elephant people.
I also just like the introduction to the zone more. With you get the scene with the Stinian, and you all have to teleport there, and you're all sick.
Oh, I hated that.
I thought it was kind of funny. Like it, I felt like, oh, I'm hanging out with the boys, and this is not going well.
No, I hated that. That was really stupid. I was just like, why? Why? Now, Instinian being really bad with money also seems really stupid. I was like, Instinian, why are you so bad with money? Like, that makes 0 sense. That your crutch is, you travel the world and you're so cool and you can do all this stuff, but you are the worst with money? Like, how have you ever sustained yourself?
He gets a pension for being the coolest Dragoon in the world.
He is the coolest Dragoon in the world because he gets to cheat.
Well, he does cheat.
As a dang cheater. For reference, I am a Dragoon main, and so I always feel a little gypped. Always feeling a little gypped by Instinian, feeling like he's got to show off and be so cool. But it's also mildly humorous. But you went through on Scholar, or Summoner. Those are the same class. They level together.
They are the same. I did go through on Summoner. There's some thoughts about that job.
Yeah, well, we'll get to job things.
Yeah.
But So yeah, because I clarified I went through on Dragoon, so you went through on Summoner.
Correct.
Just for clarification, yeah. I like the researcher who's just like, it's fine, yeah, let's go.
He was
We
enthusiastic.
got this. Nothing is gonna go wrong. Probably you will all come out in one piece. It's fine.
Yes, he definitely
Step right
writes. He puts the fine print very fine indeed.
I thought it was funny, and I moved on. But yeah, that sucked. Now the fish thing, selling the fish. Oh man, let me tell you.
Were you successful?
Sucked that up so bad. I sold 0 fish.
Whew.
No fish at all. And I was just like, this is stupid. I hate this. I didn't feel like there was any clear choices. I sucked. Other people were like, it's so easy. I don't know how you failed. And then there were the people who failed like me. And in Shout Chat, they were like, the saddest thing in this expansion is when you fail selling the fish and he's just so dejected and sad. And I'm like, I was not sad for him. I am the warrior of light. I don't even have Fisher unlocked. I know nothing about selling fish.
I sold 1 fish.
You only sold 1.
I sold 1.
Do you remember which one that was?
The one on the pier.
Way out there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. No, I just figured it would be thematic or they'd be really clear choices, and they were not. It was bad.
Yeah, it was really weird because I feel like they didn't have voice acting in those scenes, and so it was kind of hard to really gauge without the voice exactly what they were wanting. And then some of the choices I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I would lead from here into this conversation, and that's a sold fish. Nope, that just ended the conversation. Okay, no redos.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be redos, and there was nothing.
Yeah.
I felt so gypped by that.
No, I saw the first one and I was like, oh, this is easy, I guess. And then the next 2 I failed, and I was like, well, at least I got 1.
No, I sold no fish. He leaves like so dejected too. He's like, oh, it's okay. I guess I shouldn't have had you try and sell fish for me or something. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I only agreed to this because I had no other option. My gosh. But yeah, that was kind of funny, like in its own right.
It was kind of a unique mini game. I guess it's a mini game. I like that there was no grace with it. Like once you failed, you failed. I thought that was kind of cool.
It's fine. I don't need it for things that are more important than that, though.
Oh, right.
Unless it involves my wrong choice means Alize dies. And then you just have to make it clear as day that that's what's about to happen, though. And then I will choose that choice with no regrets. None at all.
We're already starting on the Alize hate train.
Because Alize deserves her own train of hatred.
There's not even a train.
There's not even a train big enough to contain my hatred for Alize. She probably needs 3 trains.
Well, I can't wait till we get to Thavner Part 2.
But yeah, anyway, she does screw up in Thavner there when we get there. But we will reach there when we reach there. But yeah, that was a fine intro. And then you go talk with the kid, and you figure out how everything sucks. Like the kid who's running his own company over there, trying to sell everybody stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Again. And I like the side quest there. Side quest is good because you're helping this Outlaw girl get over her fear of the Montanga or whatever people, because she's from the steppe, and that's just like a really good deal. I really liked how that worked, and she ends up over in Palakistan. The second story over there was not as good, but yeah. And then we talk to the alchemist people right after that.
Correct.
And that was
weird.
That was really weird. I didn't really understand what was so cool about Instinian? Like, what happened with that?
Instinian is just cool. He walks in, he's the coolest guy in the room every time, and people want to talk to him.
Well,
and examine his blood.
Yeah, I just didn't understand what they did with him when they took him away, is my point. Like, I understood they were excited about him having dragon's blood, kind of. Maybe. I don't really understand how that works, you know, because he likes to act like he's the only Azure Dragoon in the party when he's not.
Now, did you turn into Nidhogg? No, he did.
Yeah, because he screwed up because he's an idiot.
Yeah, and now he gets people drawing blood from him, and you don't.
But yeah, that was a whole weird deal. I felt like I didn't like the weird quest where we had to like run around and like do the whatever they were, testing the talisman stuff.
Yeah.
That was really annoying.
It was weird. It didn't really feel necessary. You could have just had it done once. Alright, that's good enough. You get the idea. We're testing. Move on.
I mean, it wasn't so long that it was, like, annoying, but it wasn't very pleasant either.
Look, when the expansion's this long, you need to start finding spots where you can cut this down a little bit. You could have cut that down a little bit.
There's a lot of pacing problems in this expansion where we could have cut a lot of things down.
So...
You could have basically cut most of Labyrinthos down to nothing, okay?
True.
In both runs.
True.
In both runs, Labyrinthos suck.
Yeah. This is also where you get Fan Daniel for the first time in the expansion.
Oh, yeah, he comes over and he messes things up.
As he always does.
Yeah, I was like, okay, buddy, great, do your thing. Yep, you're gonna screw things up. Oh, look, now, stupid alchemist girl is in the tower.
Well, who could have saw this go wrong?
And we're gonna have to save her. Oh, look. But then I felt like, we're gonna have a dungeon. And then it took 6 years. It took like another hour and a half to get to that dungeon.
Indeed. What did you think about the reveal, though, of Fandaniel being Ammon?
Him being Hermes and Ammon.
Yeah.
And all that nonsense. If you read the card, by the way, on Ammon in that dungeon, it says that is like Ammon by himself. He's not mixed with anything else. Just a fun little fact. That's triple triad is important.
Right.
But I was like, okay, that's different. I didn't think that's how that was going to go. I don't really care. You're a bad person. Great.
He's a good guy.
If you had maybe changed the order of that, and I had actually, like, known that Hermes was a nice guy, and, like, you know, things were okay for a while with him, and then things went really far downhill at some point, sure. But, like, I didn't know that. It's like, okay, you're cool, you're Ammon, that's where everything got screwed up, great.
I don't know, I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was a cool scene, and it was the first time where I'm like, oh, okay, we're actually gonna learn something about you. That's kind of good, I guess. I feel like we've been around with this kid for a year and a half, and we're finally learning something. Great. And I thought it was a pretty good scene, but it does, before the dungeon, yeah, it does take quite a bit, because you gotta go to Rajahan and meet, the member of the Brood, whatever his name is.
Vritra.
Yeah.
Get it right.
I don't like the spelling of his name.
I don't like how it's said,
Vritra,
but I move on.
Whatever.
But yeah, you do that.
He's a cool dragon, though. I like his design. I think it's pretty cool.
His design is a dragon. Like, he's cool. Heistfigger will always be the best looking dragon. But he's fine. He does his thing. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
I like him as a leader. Like, he's a good leader, and he's a good guy, and...
Yeah, he's caring for his people.
Yeah, he really cares for his people. That's what partially makes Venispati or whatever a great dungeon. Right? You're going through, and he's like, I can't do it. I'll give you the aerial support, but I can't be killing my people. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. Good on you. I will now joyfully kill all of your people.
No problem.
So they don't give me XP anymore, so really they're just a hindrance.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I like him. I like, the first scene, like, with him is, like, you get, him, like, sacrificing his scales and stuff, and I was like, aw, buddy, look at you. Serving the people.
Yeah, no.
A good guy.
I would say that's where the expansion for me really starts to get going, is Tower of Zot, when you first get there, with the alchemist elephant girl. I don't remember her name. And from there, I think it starts to get a lot more interesting, pretty much consistently.
No. I think we pick up right there. We pick up going into Tower of Zot. We do Tower of Zot. That's all good. And I feel like we go down again for a little bit. But then we pick right up to the best part of the expansion.
Well, did you like Tower of Zot, though, as a dungeon?
The first time through, I didn't hate that, right? I was kind of like, okay, this is where we're using Major Sisters because I don't spoil myself on that crap. Because I didn't want to watch that crap. The only thing I watched was Larry on Dragoon.
Right.
Watched him talk about Dragoon. That's it. That's all I watched from the Media Tour. But yeah, so I didn't know that, and so I walked through and I was like, okay, I don't really think those bosses are very fun. And I especially don't feel like the end is very fun. But the first time through, it was fine. It was a fine dungeon, and I felt like it was a neat thing. I don't really understand why we just let it disappear. Like, it just goes away, and Gratia saves everybody. And I'm like, what happened to all the other people when we, do Tower of Babel? And then those towers just disappear. What happened to all the other thralled people?
We don't care about those people.
Yeah, apparently we only care about elephant people now.
Yeah.
Racism. Grahatia is racist. That's what I'm learning right now.
True.
Grahatia, Premier racist. But yeah, but doing that dungeon again after leveling and stuff, I was like, I don't want it. This dungeon sucks. And I think I've done that dungeon on everything but range physical.
Oh, I've done that dungeon a lot.
Well, you've leveled trust.
Ugh.
So...
True. Yeah, that dungeon. I don't like the bosses very much. They're either the second boss is too easy and just kind of annoying, and then the first boss is actually like you actually have to pay some attention, and I don't really want to. And then the last boss is just it's too long of a fight. I feel like it feels like it goes on forever because you finally beat one, and then you're like, oh yeah, now I have to kill 2 more of these things.
Yeah, but the other 2 go down really easily.
Yeah, now I'm not a big fan of that dungeon. I think it's the worst one of the expansion.
It's actually not true. Now that I think about it, I have done that on Dancer. Because when we got there, I limit braked the 2 because they were in a line. And I was like, oh yeah. And I like using, Dancer limit break even if it's not at 3. I just feel cool.
Yeah. No, that's definitely the worst dungeon. I'm glad it's the first one we get it out of the way.
I didn't hate it first time through. Right, it was fine. It served its purpose in the story. But yeah, going through it again, you're just like, nope, I don't want this on leveling ever. I don't want to run this dungeon. Then yeah, there's nothing else that significant happens before you mount yourself into Garland mode, right?
Let's see. You finish the dungeon. Ritra's like, oh yeah, you're so cool, thanks. And you're like, yeah, we are cool. And then we go back to Charlian.
Yeah, we go back to Charlian. We figure out what we need to do next, and then we get the best. I was really, really enjoying the wonderfulness that it was to have this campaign, and what did we call that? It was Operation something. I don't remember.
Operation You Will Forget This Name.
Mm-hmm. The moment they're like, oh yeah, we're doing this cool thing, and I'm like, okay, this will be neat. And then we walk in the door, and everybody's there. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I was really enjoying that.
That is a very good moment where you get to see a lot of your allies from the past expansions come in. Some of them you probably wouldn't know unless you've done a lot of this, played a lot of jobs, because some of them are job trainers for thaumaturge or stuff like that.
Yeah, you get the thaumaturge kid and you get the dragoon kid.
And then you get the pugilist.
Oh, is he over there?
Yep.
You don't talk. You can't talk to him though.
Not for part of the quest talking. I think you can do a little bit though, because he mentions a letter from your old master or whatever.
Oh, I didn't talk to that kid. I didn't know who that kid was. But yeah, so that's the coolness there.
Yeah, that's a cool scene. The best scene is Sadhu coming in though.
I just like that Sadhu and Serena are good friends. I was legit man, where's our Far East people?
Yeah.
And then, not 2 or 3 text bubbles later, it's just yeah. And Sadhu speaks, and I was like, that's her.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my friend. Yes. And then her first scene is her just pushing Magnus over. Just nah, get out of here, buddy. I'm the cooler person. I am better than you. And I'm like, you are better than him. We didn't need him here, except that he plays well off of you. Which is the only reason he's here, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. He's a comedic relief character.
But yeah, I enjoyed the Far East people. I enjoyed that we got random resistance people from Boja, and I'm like, if you haven't done any of that content, where are you at? Are you who are those people? And most of them are not important people when they come in anyway. You're like, yeah, I already forgot you.
Yeah, oh, that guy? I don't know who that is.
I liked our traditional looking Vieras in that group. I was like, yeah, my friends, the Vieras, I talked to them when I could. I was like, yeah, my Viera friends.
I know, but that's a cool scene. I think it's exciting. I like seeing Lucia in a bigger role again. It's been a while since we've seen her in any prominence.
Yeah, I was really pleased that Lucia was heading that up. I was like, yeah, girl, I liked Lucia from the beginning. Yeah. I just always kind of liked her, even though she was never really that important.
Yeah, because she's been around since A Realm Reborn patches.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's there at the very end of the patches at the dinner party stuff.
Yeah.
So I think she's there a patch or 2 before that.
Yep. So she's a long one. She's been there for a long time. It's cool to see her in a cool role again. You get Lise. Nobody hates Lise.
I like Lise.
Yeah, I'll probably always defend her, even if she's really just actually sucks, I'll probably defend her just because people get so riled up over her, and I don't understand.
I liked her character development with that. Like, she grew into a leadership role, and that's all I was looking for, is for her to kind of act more like a leader and be more confident in herself. And
yeah, so you get some growth as a character. Wow.
yeah, and so I like that. I thought that was good.
Yeah, no, I think that's a cool scene. It's definitely one of the coolest scenes of the expansion. It does make it feel like a culmination in that all the people you've hung out with for years and years and years coming in and helping out, they feel like they're actually playing a part in the campaign. It doesn't feel like, oh, well, you're here, so we don't really have to do any work, right? And part of that's helped in that, like, you get to play as Thancred at the beginning and do your little stealth mission, and so, which I think is a smart use of being able to use these other characters, is given the sense that we're all important, even though we all know who's the most important.
Well, I liked that it was like it felt like we were legit planning a military campaign. It felt like the end of A Realm Reborn, well, not the technical end, but the end of 2.0, where we're actually like playing this military campaign, and we go in and you're running your, first of 500 runs of Meridium and Praetorium, and that doesn't actually suck yet. Right. But it felt more like that. Like, we planned an actual deal. It's not just like, well, we need you to go kill things. Please do. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, we'll do things, I guess, maybe. But yeah, we came in and we did things. I got to see all my old friends.
Yep.
A million or whatever. Took a little bit of a step down. I was kind of annoyed with him at first when he came in Heavensward. And then he really grew on me. Yeah. I really liked his steadfast, seemingly unbreakable love for Lynette, or whatever her name is. And then his first comment out of his mouth in that scene is like, "Who are those, like, Far Eastern girls over there?" or whatever. "The one looks like she will probably kill me. But and I'm like, no, buddy, you cannot be a flirt. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He took a little peg down.
He was not a very enjoyable character in this expansion.
He was there for Sickard, or Sickard, or whatever.
Yeah.
They were there to bicker, and that was kind of stupid, but it was fine.
It didn't last very long, at least.
It came up like 4 times, though.
But, yeah, exactly. It happened too many times. And eventually it's like, okay, stop. No one cares about you.
But yeah, that was fine. I like the scene otherwise. Like, besides, that's the only blemish on that entire scene. Where I was like, yeah, my friends, we're all here, we're doing our thing. And Stinian's over there talking trash because he thinks he's still the coolest Dragoon ever. And that scene, I was like, Stinian, your comment would be about how you think you're going to outperform Albert or whatever, Albec.
Yeah.
I remember his name. That was a long time ago. That was like 3 years ago. But yeah, that was great. Yeah. I really liked that. And yeah, the duty was fun. Good. I didn't read my skill tips when I was on Thancred. It was like, do these things. I was like, okay, great. I only have 4 buttons. I can hit the wrong button. Got it. Let me screw everything up. And so I failed the first run of that.
I did not fail, but I also read what I could do.
Yeah, no, I said, I don't need to do that. Bad choice. I then read what my things did, if you're wondering. I made that work. And then I went through the next time. Easy. But that was fine. I didn't love that as like a stealth thing, because it actually required me to be stealthy. I couldn't just like fail at all. But like, it was fine. Like, it made it feel more like I'm playing Thancred.
Yeah. Who
is the reconnaissance person who hasn't really been a reconnaissance person for a while. In like actuality.
Yeah.
And so that was nice. My good friend Thancred.
No, I think that's a very cool section. The whole getting to Garlemald is very cool. And then you get to Garlemald, a nice snowy place.
Yeah, I mean, it's boring looking. The story was fine there. I appreciate that we did something about everybody's clothing, and that you had the option. Now, did I? No. I wasn't glamoring that crap on. I was going to wear my dress and my heels wandering through the snow.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing a shirt on the entire time, because there's not very many good caster glamours for male characters, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna take off my shirt then and wear some pants. And that's what I did for like the first 7 levels of this expansion. And let me tell you, I was very cold looking. that was enjoyable in its own way. Everyone's like, oh, it's so cold, and I'm over here like, whatever. I'm good. This is nothing.
I appreciate that we called that back, right? That we tried and we made it work. Like the Ranger in that scene is like, I am cold. Straight up.
Verily.
Yeah, let's move to warmth. I'm like, you could have kept your coat on, buddy. You have to be an idiot.
Indeed. But yeah, Garlemald is a pretty long session. I feel like we should have just not done the whole, the sisters that die and the other two guys that were there. That whole little sidetrack, I wasn't a huge fan of it because I was like, okay, they're dead. We know they're gonna die. Do we need more conviction for Alize and Alphino, the characters that are always going on about their convictions? We don't need it. It just kind of felt unnecessary. And then, yeah, that's like, isn't that the first stalking quest?
Not side quest wise.
Well, in the MSQ.
In the MSQ, it might be.
And it's like, oh boy,
that sucked.
This is going to be so good.
That sucked a lot. I hated it. I hated all of those quests. Though, the follow thing needs to go away.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you may use that once in expansion and once in the patches. That's not once per patch. That is once in the patches. That's how frequently you may use any of the 3 variations of that. Yeah, that's the first hidden one, but you follow Alize to Labyrinthos.
Oh, yeah, I'm
but that's
talking
the
more
first
about this.
hiding one.
Yeah, the hiding one. And I was like, okay, I didn't fail any of them. I didn't fail a single duty in the MSQ.
Oh, I failed frequently on those. I sucked at the stupid hide system. I was bad at all of them, and that's what made me hate them more. Stupid.
I just didn't enjoy it because I just want to move on. And I'm like, okay, let's just get there. I don't need to spend 5 minutes doing this. But whatever, you get over there, you talk to them, and it's like, okay, yeah, you guys are going to die. You don't trust us. Like, it all makes sense. But that's definitely a part where I'm like, I just don't feel like its purpose did anything that was necessary.
So my deal is I feel like you could cut most of that. I didn't need to get captured. I need to walk into a trap that I knew was a trap. Like, you can keep the, I'm fine with the sisters dying or whatever. Right? I feel like that was a decent point to show, like, yeah, these people don't want us.
Yeah.
We came to save them. That's fair. But they don't want us to save them. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't care. We are the worst people ever to them. And so that was a nice deal to see how deep-rooted it was. But after that...
Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't with the twins. Like, if it had been with Urianger. It might have been more interesting, right?
Maybe. I'm okay with, like, yeah, the twins, that was their big deal, and they got to hang out, and then you were stuck with the twins again, and I was like, please. And then they just sit there in the frigid miserableness, like,
that's what you do.
It's so cold. Let's talk about our relationship. No, we're not going to do that. That was a long, stupid scene. Like, I appreciate that Quintus kills himself, like, that he stands by it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, everybody's released, like, but I've made my decision.
They do a couple cool shots with that, no pun intended, where like, with his blood hitting the flag, which is about the chain, like, what, the red chains that...
The center chain, which they explain in that part, which is really good, I appreciated that a little bit, was about how that's the lifeblood that, like, links everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the important point, and it shoots right onto it, and I really liked that.
Yeah, that's a cool scene. I like that a lot. I know some people, I think, were talking about how kind of slow that zone is. I was pretty interested for most of the time, other than the sisters, which again, not my favorite part. But after that, I was generally pretty interested, but more like I just wanted to talk to these people and kind of just see what they were all about and who they were and how they were handling this, like, oppressive atmosphere. I thought that was all pretty interesting. I like Julius. Julius, yeah. It's a J.
It looks stupid. I will give you, I read it wrong until it was said. And I went, wrong. Nope. Fine, Euless, whatever.
Yeah. I liked him. I mean, I feel like the story with him was more or less like, okay, I know exactly where we're going to end up with this kid. But, like, I thought it was well done and enjoyable. Overall, I think Garlemald was one of the better zones. I prefer zones where we just do the whole thing in one go, as opposed to, like, splitting them up. I don't really like the splitting thing. I really wish we'd stop that.
Yeah, I'd rather get, like, 8 or 9 zones.
Yeah.
That are all maybe slightly shorter.
Yeah, that'd be more interesting. I just feel like it would make more sense, especially when it's like, oh, I just have this flying dragon that I ride around, and I could just go down. No, I can't go down. Okay. It's just kind of weird. But in general, I think Garlemald was pretty cool. The only thing I didn't really love about that zone was like the destroyed city, which a lot of people speculate will be like another restoration.
It'll be another Ishgard thing, is what I actually think that will be. But I want it to be more like the Doman Enclave. I want another thing that I can just throw my crap to and see it go better, because I really like that. Like, I like getting rid of my crap and seeing progress. I get paid for it and I see progress.
Yeah.
It's just really nice. I like it a lot. Those cutscenes in the Enclave are really long, though.
Yeah, I skipped them.
Yeah, I watched them. They're long. Now, I didn't hate that. Like, I felt like I was doing something cool and a part of something and, like, helping out. And I really liked that. That's what I would like to have with Garlemald. I think, yeah, we'll do another Ishgard thing, though. And I don't want that. Mainly because I don't want to participate, but I'm going to have to for cards. I can already guarantee that right now. Because collecting cards is the most important part of everything.
As it is right now, I don't really like flying over there. Just, like, sometimes I get, like, hunts. Sometimes it's kind of a pain to find things over there. And I'm just like, okay. And then it's kind of, before you have flying, running through that place is not very fun.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
It's really, really stupid.
It's really annoying.
But I felt like this zone was slow. Like, after you get off the hype train of, like, we just came in, we're doing cool things, it gets pretty slow, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, there's interesting points. Like, and you get to see how much the Garleans hate you, and I appreciate that we saw that. And I didn't want to get captured, I didn't want to play that game, and deal with all that crap. And then we do the next big movement, where I get spirited away.
Indeed.
And that was stupid. I hated everything about that.
I think that's my favorite duty of the expansion.
Lies?
I think it was the one, it's one that I felt like I actually had to try and actually have to, like, figure out.
It's easier now.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. You can read patch notes. We added more points where you can find, like, fuel and stuff.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, so it's easier now. I don't know how much easier it is, but yeah, they made it easier.
Interesting. No, I genuinely thought that was a pretty cool moment. I feel like the scene leading up to it was really good. I really think that was, like, a really great culmination of, like, the Garlemald story prior to the dungeon. I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. I had to try, figure things out. It was kind of long. It was definitely long. But I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot.
I hated it because I walk slower than slow. That's stupid and annoying.
And then you crawl slower than slow.
And the crawling thing is really stupid. But before that, like, you get the duty, and I was doing fine until, like, I've scoured the entire map, like, twice. Okay? And then I'm like, well, maybe I need to go. And then I went too far and I pulled everything that died. So then I had to redo it. And then I realized, oh, all I had to do was jump through this window? Are you kidding me? Why? Why is this not visible when I look in the building? You have to jump in to see it as an interactable thing. Yeah. That's really stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of figured it out pretty fast. So.
Good for you. You randomly thought I'm going to jump through this window.
Yeah, I was avoiding things, so yeah.
There's nothing over there to avoid.
Yeah, but I wanted to see what was over there since I couldn't continue the other way, and I was like, okay, well, I'll see what's over here. Oh, look, there's a guy. Great.
No, that was really stupid. I hated that.
No, I thought it was cool.
I didn't understand why you randomly mind-jacked me and, like, pulled this thing from way, way back. I'm like, yeah, great, that existed. That was not a good mechanic in that fight. I kind of forget that's a mechanic in that fight, and then I get there and I'm like, I hate this mechanic.
A mechanic?
The mind-jack mechanic? In Castlevania or whatever?
Oh.
Yeah, the whole thing, he explains it. That's where that's from. That's how how that works. And that was really stupid, and I kind of hated it, and I'm like, I don't care, I don't really understand what the purpose of that was. I don't feel better doing it. I just feel angry, and I feel like I just wasted, like, an hour of my time.
Yeah, from what I understand is a lot of people really hated that duty. But there's also a lot of people who are very casual in this game and don't like to fail and get really annoyed when they have to try. And so I'm not surprised.
I'm not upset that it was semi-difficult, right? I'm upset that, like, even if I had just had to walk next to the building and then I could see it. But you have to jump in it, right? I stood right next to that multiple times. That's stupid, right? If you want to fix something, fix that. That would have been simpler, right? That's my major complaint with that. But I just felt like it was stupid. I didn't know why I was there. I feel like that whole thing is a waste of time. I gained nothing. It fills space before I go raid the Tower of Babel.
I think its purpose is to give some moments with our boy Xenos.
Did Xenos kill Alize in that scene?
No, he didn't.
Xenos doesn't deserve screen time until he does something worthy of my attention.
No, I think that was a great moment. I think that's a really good one. I like it a lot.
No, I hated that, and then we finally get to another good part. We raid Tower of Babel.
Do you like that dungeon?
It's fine. I like that my first run, we got to the final DL, and our healer and the other DPS died. So it's just me and my warrior friend, who had, the warrior gets to do, several lines of coke before he does everything, or he or she, I guess, whatever. And so they were dead as we transitioned into the DPS check.
Yeah.
That we barely met together. But then we came out, and we did it.
Just kept going.
We killed it. Did that fight take...
forever?
That fight took I think it took 15 minutes to kill that. Like, we were there for forever. But we did it. I was like, yeah, we are so cool. But yeah, I feel like that was fine. Anima being the trial, or the dungeon boss there, I was like, wow, I thought you were really setting up for that to be the trial. And then you didn't.
There's a couple things. I don't like the first boss. At least on melee. It's fine on, ranged characters.
What's the first boss again?
The plus and minus magnet boss.
Oh, sometimes you get away with that pretty easy on melee, but other times you do not.
Yeah, it's really annoying, but on range it's fine. So that boss, whatever. But the second boss I like because there's some levels of optimization that I can do within it, which is kind of fun. Because, minimize, you do a little bit less damage. So if you wait and, roll your GCD while going small and avoiding and then go back up, you can do more damage. And so there's just little things you can do. And then when you turn into a frog, if you time it right, you only have to turn into a frog for a small moment, and then you can go back to being a person and keep damaging, and you never have to go back to being a frog.
Yeah, it is neat. I feel like it asks me to do different things, and I was okay with that. I liked that.
Yeah, so I like the optimization there. And then yeah, when you go up the elevator and you see Anima in the background, that's a really cool shot of I thought this might be a trial, but this looks to be part of the dungeon, so that's kind of interesting. And you get over there and you're like, oh, this is definitely the dungeon boss. At that point, I was like, oh man, what the heck is the first trial actually gonna be? And then, it's kind of easy enough to figure out, a cutscene later. But I was like, okay. And yeah, I think that was a cool dungeon. I think it takes a little bit longer than some dungeons, though. It feels kind of long. Although the last bosses in this expansion feel pretty dang long.
In dungeons?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of feel lengthy. But a lot of problems is that there's a lot of weird pulls in these dungeons. Mm-hmm. I think every dungeon has a weird, 3 enemy pull. Mm-hmm. And that's really stupid. Now, when I was tanking through these dungeons, let me tell you, did I pull those all the way to the end of the hallways, basically, every time? Yeah, because I'd forget. And then I'd look like a moron. And I'd think I should say something. I'm like, nope, they're just going to accept that I'm an idiot.
Yeah, some of the dungeon pulls are very weird.
And then that dungeon also, yeah, you have the elevator stuff. And that was lengthy. That's fun the first time through, because you get to see Sadu and Lise and them and Magnus over there doing their thing. Yeah. And it's pretty great. But Sadu is just fun all the time, because she's like, we could just take them out. Yeah, I know we're supposed to not, and I'm not going to, but I could just burn these people down to the ground. And I'm like, you could. I'm aware. I am very aware. You're cool.
I think this is a solid dungeon, though. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't hate that dungeon. It's probably the second best dungeon.
Interesting.
And I was wrong. I thought that fall mechanic was going to be a quick time event, though. And it wasn't.
It was not.
I straight up thought that was.
Thankfully. Gosh.
Yeah, I got to see the sacrifice. 2 weeks ago or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. This is garbage for a quick time event.
Yeah, that's like the worst one.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That was pretty rough.
Anyway, back on that. That's a good dungeon. I don't really like that there is no transition to the moon. They're just like, oh yeah, we're moon.
Fucking
moon.
Teleporter. Woo!
I was also wrong again, because I thought that my bunny people, the Loperites, were going to get me to the moon.
Oh, you thought...
I thought they would get me to the moon. That's what I thought was happening.
No.
I knew they would be on the moon.
Yeah.
I had no thought that they were not going to be on the moon.
Yeah.
But I thought they were going to help me get to the moon. And they didn't. They said, screw you.
Yeah.
Heidelin will help you out. It's fine.
You finish the dungeon and then you immediately afterwards teleport to the moon, and you should be about level 73 by the MSQ standard. And it's like, okay, well, I know a lot of people expected this to be towards the end, but this is not even really close to the end at all.
No, you're pretty far away.
Yeah, it's a pretty lengthy bit away. So yeah, you get to the moon, you go talk to the Watcher. He's kind of cool, I guess. And then you see Zodiark out in the middle of the area. And like, aw, dang. I think that's actually a pretty cool shot. I like the colors a lot. And then you get a dog.
What? Well, we gotta go through several points here, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Break
First
it down.
off, reminding that we were talking to the Watcher, where they speak in their stupid nonsense deal. We need to address that Vritra talks like a man. The only dragon.
Mm-hmm.
The only one who has decided that he will talk like everybody else. Why?
Because he lives among men more. Like, he lives with them and cares more about them than, like, Racefalger. He doesn't give a crap.
They have lived so long they can't be bothered to know the language of man.
I'm sure they know it.
Yeah, so why don't they speak that? Why can we understand them?
Because they're
randomly?
arrogant. Because
Why
they
can we
think
understand
we're better
dragon
than
speak?
people. Why can't we understand dragons?
Yeah.
Isn't the idea that we magically, like, understand what they're saying, right? Like, oh, I'm going to speak to your mind and you'll understand.
Yeah, I understand that. I hated that we didn't do the dragon voice, though. I was
so happy because I hate the dragon
voice.
voice.
Yeah, you hate that. But I really like the dragon voice, and I was just the whole time. Every time he talked, I was like, "Where's your voice?"
No, I think it's it's a cool detail.
It.
It's a cool detail that makes him feel more of a people person.
If he said it right, if he said, "I, speak to you in your tongue because I care about my people," I'd move on. But there was no explanation. It just happened, and from the first time he spoke, I was off put, and I hated it.
Okay, well that's stupid.
2, though, on the tangent line.
Yeah.
We're back on the moon. Argos is a llama dog. He's not a dog. It's a llama dog. I saw that thing and immediately thought llama dog.
Isn't he actually like a familiar?
Yours seems familiar too. Move on.
No, that was just a story. We are a Zine, or like whatever percentage we are. But yeah, you meet the dog, and you're like, I don't know what you are. I don't know why there's a dog on the moon, but I guess you are here, and that's kind of weird. And then you run along. What I like is that it doesn't take long before you get to the trial.
You get to the trial now. My frustration is that you can't really explore on the moon.
Yeah, not really.
It's like, oh, you can do this area, and then you can do nothing, and then you can just run along with the dog. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I guess we'll run along with llama dog.
Yeah, he's our friend.
Wonderful. Now that zone sucks to traverse. I hate that zone.
Yeah, once you get flying, it's fine.
But yeah, then you get to Zodiark. And Zodiark is...
Mm.
I feel like that's a good trial. I don't really feel like story-wise I cared a whole lot. It was kind of a nonsense, convoluted weirdness, and I was like, okay. I kind of thought this might be kind of convoluted and stupid when we fought Zodiark.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we did it, and whatever. Like, I appreciate his design has, like, parts of him not restored.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I also looked at him and thought, hello, Chaos. My good friend. I have not fought you a lot.
I'm here to kill Chaos.
But
Very true.
But here we are. Again. With Chaos. The design is just like, okay. It's like Chaos with Sephiroth. That's what it is. That's what I mean. Like, I'm like 30 seconds in and I'm like, yep, this is what this is. Done.
And he has some hair. Some weird It's like bluish hair. It's pretty funny.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Just because I assume it's just because of Fandaniel's vesselness. I don't really know how to really digest how that it works exactly. But yeah, Fandaniel becomes Zodiark. I think it's pretty cool. I agree that I feel like I should have been more hyped fighting Zodiark, but it was more like a little bit confused. Like, okay. I mean, I figured we'd fight him at some point. It's kind of surprising that he's the first trial. But I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. My real problem is his mechanics I don't know, like, we're spinning the floor, which is cool, but like, oh, I got like some snakes over here that are going to shoot things, and I'll watch out for the behemoths. It's like, I don't know, I just kind of felt like the fight could have been cooler. I do like the Starfall mechanic, although I understand that Party Finder is hellish, or Duty Finder. That's cool.
The fight I feel like is a nice ramp up in difficulty, right?
Yeah.
It requires you to do some things. I'm fine with, the rotation when it's behemoths. The snake thing, though. And I know I'm not the only person. I've seen other people be like, I get everything about this fight, but the stupid snakes, I can't.
I'm the same way. The snake's the hardest one. And in Extreme, the snakes were really the worst part. The rest is pretty easy, but the snakes really throws me off. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I've not cleared Extreme or done Extreme. But, I mean, I've cleared normal, I think, like 10 times.
Yeah.
By getting it in roulette and purposefully doing it for the card. There's 7 clears to get that card, I think.
Ooh, boy.
And let me tell you, that is, yeah, Duty Finder is harsh.
Yeah.
Now, my first clear of that was with 2 of my favorite kinds of people. Some good old glare mages.
Best kind.
Because I legit watched them cast glare through the triple stack. Or is it 3 or 4 hits?
It's 5 hits.
Is it 5? Whatever.
The first time I think it's 5. In Extreme it gets more every stack up.
Oh, whatever. However many hits that is, I just watched glare go across the screen. I think we had 7 pulls before they finally realized that glare was not a healing spell. But I had to smartly use my sad little mitigation and healing on Dragoon to make it alive through that fight. I kid you not.
That's some good stuff.
It makes it really hard to pay attention to what's happening when you have to pay attention to your other stupid crap.
Yeah.
You're like, where is my health at?
Not there. It's gone.
No, I think I can survive and maybe ride this out so I don't have to hit second wind so I can save that for later when things will go wrong.
Yeah.
Should I use feint here or do I think that we will make it? I don't know. It was everything that I had to meticulously look at while doing this fight.
Yeah.
But then every clear after that was so arduous and long.
I believe it.
Suck. People truly, they don't get Starfall. And I get the Starfall is confusing because it falls weird.
Yeah, the orientation of it does throw me off the first couple times. Like, oh, goddamn, I was wrong. But I get it now. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I also have to do that where if the safe spot is in the corner for both of them, I have to stand over in the middle on the side so that then I have to move to the corner. Otherwise, I will forget and I'll get hit.
Well, in normal, you can survive 1 hit.
You survive 1.
Yeah.
But most people take 2.
In Extreme, you're fucking
But if you take that hit in normal, you likely die next because your healer doesn't get you up because it's a stack up right after that.
Oh, yeah.
The stack up is right after that, and you have a vuln stack, and it is bad.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
But yeah, so that, I think the trial is fine.
The scene afterwards, though, where, Fandaniel's, fading away, I've seen that scene a couple times, and it's weird. It's very weird. He's kind of monologuing. And I'm like, I'm not sure I completely understand what you're all about. As Fandaniel, right? I understand your other incarnations, but I'm not 100% sure I understand him. That's okay.
He was trying to throw the world into massive chaos.
Yeah.
He didn't care how it happened. He didn't care who the casualties were. He was just there to be bad. Which was not very interesting, right? He's not interesting. He never was.
Yeah.
And, that's fine, whatever. He's gone, finally.
Yeah, Ferdinand's dead.
And then, Xenos is cool, and he does his stuff on the moon and leaves you alone, and then we're done. And then we get a nice, long section.
It is
my
long.
good friends, the Loperates. And I didn't hate the Loperates. The Loperates were funny.
I think they might be my favorite beast tribe, period. Although
The Namazu.
I do like the Namazu. It would be between those two. Those are definitely the two top contenders.
My problem with the Loperates being better than the Namazu is the Namazu are deceptive and jerks. And it's funny. It's hilarious. And then you get to carry them in your bag multiple times, and they complain hardcore. They're like, why the heck? You have so much crap in your bag. And it's great when you actually have so much crap in your bag. You're like, yeah, I know. I know there are 2 tabs full of food. I'm aware. Yeah. It's fine. It's crap food. I'm probably not going to eat most of it. Whatever. Eventually, maybe I'll get there. Suck it up, Namazu. You chose to get in my bag. But anyway, the Loperates. They were fine. But before we really get into that, I really need to understand why this is a base for the people of Aetheris to come to as a sanctuary. Is there so much crap that will kill me in these areas? Why are things trying to kill me?
Or like the moon inhabitants?
No, not the moon inhabitants. Not like the, lunatenders or whatever.
Oh, okay.
The things in the actual sanctuary. So like, inside the greatest Endvale or whatever. Why?
Yeah, I wondered myself.
Would I bring the people of Aetheris here?
Yeah.
When there are things that will kill me?
Yeah, like there's like fates in there of things, and it's like
they actively try to attack me.
Why? Yeah, no.
How is this safe?
Because when I saw that you could go into these big sections, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I saw an enemy, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I thought maybe the question would be like, oh, we've had like something run amok, and they're kind of trying to do harm.
No.
Can you kill them all? That would have made sense. But no, it's just we just got enemies around here. And then it uses like the is it Final Fantasy IV battle music?
Yeah.
Inside there, which I think is actually a pretty cool touch. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
It is really neat. I liked that a lot. That bothered me.
Yeah.
It still bothers me.
Yeah, it's
I've done a fair amount of fates in there.
Yeah, it's a fair.
And I'm like, it
is weird.
I hated that. But anyway, you get to the Loperates, who are kind of cute sometimes.
I like them.
And they're all about serving the people of Aetheris. And they got about everything wrong.
They did pretty poorly.
I'll tell you what else disappointed me. There was no triple triad player up there, which means the Strylians failed. The Strylians are supposed to send them the important points of Eorzea and the culture of Aetheris. You know what they did? They didn't send triple triad cards.
How sad.
I was legit a little saddened. One of them does play you later, way later.
Yeah. In
Charlion, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not on the moon. So I'm waiting. Square Enix is going to give us a card player on the moon. It's going to happen. It better be a Loperate who's decided the joys of this game is all we ever needed to know. But yeah, they do their thing, and they're not happy that you're not happy.
No.
And I'm like, I don't know, you're asking for criticism, and then you're just kind of like, weirdly, like, no. We didn't really want your criticism. We only want Urianger.
They knew, they were very confident that they had got it right, but they did not.
Yeah, it was mildly humorous, right?
I mean, there's several scenes that I think are pretty funny there. I like how they're like, oh, you guys are just children. And we're like...
For a long time, though. And nobody says it. Y'shtola finally speaks up, and she's like, we are not children.
Thancred.
It's Y'shtola, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's Thancred.
I don't think it is.
I think you're wrong.
I think it's my girl Y'shtola.
Yeah, you would always think anything positive, it's Y'shtola, obviously.
No, not anything positive. I still think Thancred says it. Like, I think he chimes in after Y'shtola has stated that we're not children. But I don't know, whatever. Someone speaks up finally. Way late.
But that's funny. And then the costumes.
Oh, they were so stupid. Oh, I hated that crap.
I like how the game makes you wear it. It's pretty funny.
No, I hated that. Now, the carrot thing, though.
Ah, yes, the carrots.
Did you eat? What carrot did you eat?
I think I went with the blue one.
Yeah, and that's what I went with. Now, I've seen people post some descriptions on these carrots, and they are very, very overtly sexual.
I kind of want to see them, but I don't know what they say.
They, like, one of them I think is just like, it says something about like Vieras and how like they would really be super happy to see a carrot that large, and I'm like, please, for the like I realize that technically what you just said is all safe.
Yeah,
but
that's good stuff.
Let's be real. That is a sexual innuendo.
Yeah, but this game has a lot of that.
It does have a lot of weird things when it comes to like item descriptions and things.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
And that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, you do the costume thing, and you do the forest. Oh, you gotta find this stupid kid through the telescope thing. You remember that?
Yeah.
You know how long that took me? It took me like 5 minutes. I kid you not.
Failing it up.
I did. I did fail it because I just clicked on the first thing that I saw because I frequently do that.
Yeah.
In those types of missions, and then it fails you.
It's like,
and then he's running by the screen. I'm like, I can't stop. He'd just come by from like the opposite screen or opposite side of the screen I was on like every time, and I was like, stop! I hate you. And then we catch him, and it's a waste of time.
True.
you get around Jay doing his thing.
Yeah, you have to follow him, talk it out, and then he decides to stay with his animal friends.
I like that he stayed with them, and it was good. That scene where he gets to like pudding way though at the end,
that's really funny.
where he's just like,
what is your name?
Sometimes the name of the meaning, or the meaning of the name is just better suited not for words, but for... And he just like goes on, and I'm like, oh, Ranjay, only you could just artfully dodge the entirety of... I have nothing to say. I legit got 0 things to say about you putting away.
Yeah, that's a really funny scene. I feel like it was a good bit of levity for the expansion. Because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of levity moments. But, I mean, this is like 2 hours of it.
It's pretty good. I mean, the moon is, actually a, cool place that you can move. And
yeah, an arc.
That's neat, I guess. I don't really care a whole lot.
I kind of wonder, did the people of Atheris just not have a moon? Because this is like a created moon, right? I don't really understand the logistics of it all. But that's fine.
I also don't know why it's only the source. Like, why when Heidelin had all her cool power, was she not like, well, I guess I could say, no, they're not important. Just you guys. It's fine.
Maybe she was, limited. She didn't have that much power. I don't know. It's not really explained. It's not going to explain itself that well, so.
Yeah, I mean, we can't jump through, the Waparites can't design something that jumps through and we can go visit all the other places.
Yeah, that's sad. Lena's just going to have to die.
Now, we trash talking Lena, okay? Lena is great. Lena is important. And we got more of Lena.
We did get more of Lena.
Pretty quickly after that, actually.
Not too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get back and, give a rundown. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We went, killed Zodiark. Just pretty casual affair up there. Now we're back.
We left Urianger, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He likes being with the nonsense people, okay?
Yeah.
He likes the pixies.
Yeah,
they're his best friends.
Yeah, it's just kind of we're back. Oh, we'll explain everything. It's just kind of funny. But I do like that you got to hang out with Thancred, Urianger, and Y'shtola on the mid.
Yeah, you got your core group back, and that was good.
Because I think those are the better half of the Scions.
Well, I mean, I was really hoping Thancred was going to die in this expansion.
He did not die.
He did not die.
I know he wasn't going to die.
Well, at that scene, sure. But, like...
the carrot kills him.
That could have been funny. He's poisoned and it's over.
Oh, well, yeah. But let's see, after that...
But yeah, then after that, you gotta go...
Oh, Thavnir.
You go back to Thavnir?
Yeah, you go back to Thavnir. Because the final days are happening. Because we started that and we're like, oh, crap. Something's happening in Thavnir. Then we go over there. And that's where you get the Venice Body dungeon.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to jump pretty far ahead. Trying to jump ahead to Alpus.
Don't get ahead of yourself. This is a long expansion.
But yeah, then we go over there. And that was good. I like that dungeon. That's the best dungeon of the expansion. Venice Body.
My problem with this dungeon is, one, I don't really like the first boss. Because I've never been a big fan of the hand mechanic that twirls around and then you have to like start running and it'll force you in the direction. I don't like that. I hate that thing. I've always thought that was really annoying. I don't like that it's there. The second boss just kind of sucks and is annoying. I like the last boss. But the trash pulls in that dungeon are super annoying. Like, it's an okay dungeon, but it's kind of annoying to actually run. Because it's like, oh, look, I have to watch these 4 Matungas turn into a hell beast every single time. Great. I don't need to watch this every time. It's annoying.
I kind of like the atmosphere of it, though, right? I like that we're watching these things just succumb to despair, and then we have to kill them.
I think it's a cool premise the first time. And I like the fire effects, like when you're running after the first pull and you're running through like the forest that's burning. I think that's pretty cool. I like the look of it. But I feel like a good dungeon takes into account the fact that you're going to be running this many times. And this dungeon does not do that.
I have ran that dungeon many times. I've spent an entire hour in that dungeon on one run.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That healer could not figure it out, and I patiently, nicely waited. But, no, I like this dungeon. I think it's a good dungeon. I enjoy the atmosphere of it. I enjoy, Reacher's line, as I already said.
Yeah.
But, that's fine. You can hate on it. You can be hating on how great this dungeon is. I like that we get there right away, though.
Yeah.
Like, we go in, and we're just like, boom! Dungeon, let's go! I did see a good meme on this dungeon, though. It was like, the intro was like, your location is California. And then the wildfire thing. Yeah. Or gender reveal party. That's what, yeah.
Gender reveal party.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's
pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
But other than that, yeah. That dungeon's good.
Yeah, you finish the dungeon. Learn a little bit about what's going on. Justinian decides he's gonna ride some dragons.
Yeah, he's so cool.
Yeah, and then what do you do after that? You go back to Ratchahan?
Yeah, to assess the situation, and then you...
Yeah.
And then you go back to... Or then you go back out to Thavnir in the second part. But
yeah.
I do like, at the end of the dungeon, where Justinian is like, all cocky about him. He's like, yeah, I can hold on. I'm like, blah, 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 I'm the best. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're the best, okay? Yeah, whatever. All right. And then I don't really see you do anything with being cool up there. Until later.
Until later.
When you save the dang day, Justinian.
We circle back. You know why he had to save the day, though? Because your girl, Alice,
oh, don't insult me and my name.
Is a failure.
By associating Alize as my girl. But yeah, Alize fails there. But we'll go through a little orderly before we lay into Alize.
I don't know. I feel like you could just start laying into her.
I mean, I could always lay into Alize. But yeah, you get to Palika Stand or whatever. And I like that scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, I also like that, like, your merchant friend, your fish selling friend.
I feel like we should know his name.
Oh, 100%. Don't know his name. Don't care.
I don't know.
Also, while I'm thinking about it, does it bother you that all of the elephant people look the same?
Yeah,
there's the female Montanga, and then there's the male ones. That's it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of variants, but I mean, if we're being honest, it's not an uncommon problem with the beast tribes of this game. Which I assume it's intentional, or it's just laziness on the creator's part. Like, yeah, it's definitely intentional. But it's like, if you go and talk to the Voth?
Yeah, the Voth all look the same. Some of them all look the same, but the Vanu look different. I can tell some of them apart, right?
The Vanu also suck.
Look, don't be hating on the Vanu. Just because they're in the worst region and their beast tribes kind of suck a lot, and I had to do it for cards, and I hated it. Don't be hating on them.
I'm going to keep hating on them.
I have a cool little dance that I use only because it's stupid.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, they do look the same, but whatever. About what I expect.
Like, they're part of the world. Like, and you do a side quest, like, with them, where you gotta pick out the yarn for one of their kids and stuff. Like, why do I have to pick out what they're gonna wear if they're gonna wear the same thing when they're old? Like, no. That bothered me a lot, right? I was always bothered by that. But hey, I like that he just starts, like, reciting things, and they, like, all follow along.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I liked that a lot, and then when they're like, oh, yeah, that's, like, the scriptures, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
like, I like that as a nice touch for the religious aspect of this world. I really liked that.
Yeah, I think it's a well done scene.
After that area drags, though. There is too much, like, run around and go find the things and save the day. And I'm like, I don't care.
I'll be honest, outside of the actual, like, action-y events of that zone, I don't really remember doing much.
I mean, you don't do a whole lot, but it does try to drag, and then you get to Alizé killing a child.
Indeed.
Cold blood.
Yeah.
Murdered that
Yeah,
child.
just takes out a knife.
I mean, that was sad. Right, that was so pathetically sad, because you get over there, you finally chase down his friend.
Yeah.
And then...
the woman with her child. Like a baby.
Yeah, this is like an infant.
Yeah.
Okay, it's swaddled up in everything, okay?
Yeah.
And then Alphino's defending the day. You know, he's making his stand. Everything's in a good spot.
Yeah.
And then here comes Alizé, core. Boom!
Knocked out. Gets knocked into
Failure.
Alphino. Just completely drops the ball.
Yeah, and then this woman dies.
Yeah, she just...
right, or she gets turned.
No, she gets yeeted into the water.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's dead. And then somehow, her child is alive.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I think the water pressure alone would crush that child's skull at that age.
It's probably
irrelevant.
Yeah.
You saved this child's life, and I go... oh, no, Alizé pulls it up, right?
No, we jump in the water.
You jump in the water, yeah, okay. And I'm just like...
we're just picking up after Alizé's
yeah,
mess.
I was so frustrated. But now I like the scene. I was really engaged
Yeah.
with my good friend, who we still will not know the name of.
Yeah.
My elephant friend. Doing his thing. He, like, runs over, and I was like, oh, buddy. Oh, you're losing control. This would be really cool if you both get turned. I really wanted it to happen, and I thought it might happen. I was engaged.
I was hoping, because I thought that would be so dark that I feel like we would have, like, sufficiently hit the, like, okay, I wasn't expecting you to go that far, but we didn't go.
Yeah, I would have been surprised.
That would have been cool.
But then Enstinian, he comes in and he saves the dang day.
He does.
He says, Alizé, look, here I am, cleaning up your mess. You are welcome. You pathetic human being.
It's just funny because it really is like that woman died because Alizé completely sucked. She just completely fails. And she's supposed to be like everyone's saying, oh, you've become so strong and whatever. And then every moment where it really counts, you completely suck it up, Alizé. And you're having to be helped out every time you try to do anything. You're not that strong. I've let Nietzsche's hatred seep into me. And it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, because she sucks. She's the worst character in the entire game.
I mean,
I have so much animosity.
This is the first expansion where I actually was like, oh, I really feel like you are sucking a lot. Because he didn't bother me that much in like Shadowbringers or Stormblood. And she's barely in Heavensward. But
she's there enough.
But man, she sucked here.
Yeah, no, she really did. I hated that. I was hating on her before that a little bit, but not like crazy. I was doing pretty okay.
Yeah, containing it.
And then it just, I was like, Alizé. But Enstinian saving the day helped me think better of Enstinian.
Yeah, that was the setup all along.
He didn't kill her, so he's not in good graces yet.
I mean, Yustola hasn't killed her yet either. So.
Yeah, but Yustola has enough good grace that she can get away not killing her.
But no, I think it's a well done scene. It does sufficiently make me think, okay, you might do this, but when I saw the baby, I was like, you're not going to do that to a baby. I thought that would be really cool.
I don't know, children turn and get killed. And
yeah.
If you're willing to do children, you're willing to kill a child.
And I was like,
a newborn.
Wouldn't it be really cool if there was like a unique model of this baby turning into like a hell baby thing? That'd be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
It would make me think of like Dead Space 2, but that's irrelevant. We didn't get that, but overall, I think it's a pretty cool scene. I like it. I think Thavnir Part 2 is pretty good overall.
Yeah, Thavnir Part 2 starts with the best dungeon, goes through pretty well. It doesn't have a whole lot of dip, but it dips a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not long. I don't feel like... It didn't feel like a very long section compared to like some of the others. It's like, okay, we're getting through this pretty fast. It's all pretty well done. It develops a bit, and then we go back to Raja Han, and things go well.
Real well.
really well.
Yeah, people die. Oshawon or whatever dies. Now my boy Grahatia.
Coming in again.
Yeah. I was liking Grahatia this expansion. He was just doing good things. He had stopped, like, basically orgasming every time I did anything, every step I took. And I was like, okay, buddy, you reined yourself in as I hoped you would. All right, we're good. And then he steps up and he takes charge.
Yeah.
He saves the dang day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, buddy.
It allowed him to show his, like, leadership qualities from when he was, like, the Exarch coming into play. And, like, okay, I know how to take care of a situation, take control of the people, rein things in. And that's a cool scene, because that is where the kid gets turned into one and then just gets flattened. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, by his father, too, I think, yeah.
No, his father watches it happen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He gets saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Oshawon comes in and dies in his place.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's a pretty cool scene. I like that. Now, does Oshawon really, like, I don't really feel that bad for Oshawon. He's not really that relevant of a character.
I was pretty positive he was going to die from the get-go.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I thought, you will die.
Death flag.
I'm feeling it, buddy. You're going to die. That's fine. You're cool. Reacher's better. And the actual leader.
Yeah. But no, I think that's all a pretty good scene. Like, I think that's a good section. And then after that is when, you gotta, like, investigate what happened, right? So you're going around with Grog, like, who turned, and then go to the bar. That's all a little long and not great, but whatever. You do your investigations.
It's the first of many, many investigations. Let me tell you what. The amount of times I've had to go around. Who turned first? But I get it. I understand every role quest. I got it.
So you do that, you go back, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I got this cool hint about this flower that's now gone.
I was saddened. I
guess I'll go to the Crystarium. So, cool. And then we head off there.
Yeah, Lena.
Then we get to go meet Lena.
I get to go say, hey, Lena, my friend.
Bet you weren't expecting me today.
But I'm here. It's all good.
Yeah.
You're my best friend on the first. Nobody else is better on the first than you.
I see. Yeah, and then you go talk to Reen.
Oh, yeah, I didn't care about Reen.
Yeah.
We talked to, you talked to those kids again, and I'm like, I kind of forgot about you. I remember you.
Yeah.
Barely. You're pretty far back there.
I actually thought when we were going to the Crystarium, and we'd been doing this whole we're meeting everybody thing, I was like, I bet you we meet those kids.
Oh, wow.
I actually caught it. I was like, wow. Okay, we did it. I didn't think we'd meet the, whatever the heck that race is called. They look like hunched over dogs or whatever.
What are you talking about?
From the Grand Cosmos dungeon. That guy.
The Numus?
Yeah, the Numus.
The Numus do not look like hunched over dogs. What an insult.
I don't know what to describe them as. I don't really like their design.
But
we met that guy, and I'm like, that's a guy I actually forgot about.
He gets his own side story written for him, I will have you know.
I don't care.
And I've always liked the Numus. They're my friends.
No, they suck.
I like them a lot. I like this iteration of them. It's good. They're good. Yep. I don't remember his name, I'll tell you that. But I remembered him.
I saw him and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you
exist.
Lugbeg
or whatever.
They have names. Yeah.
Wow. What an insult on the Numus you are.
Yeah.
What a blight on them you are. What a jerk.
It's okay.
Anyway, yeah, we did that, and that was kind of nice. Like, we were there, so we'll stop and we'll do this. That didn't quite feel like we filled that space for nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But then, I didn't get to see my good friend Gaia and your waifu. So.
Yeah, no Gaia. Sadly. It's probably because I killed her.
That's mean. I just don't understand, like, why Gaia is not a Scion. Like, why Gaia, who can do all this cool stuff, is not with us doing things.
Because she's part of the Raid series quests.
Yeah, which means she can't be a part of anything else.
Exactly, because they have to separate everything, which is kind of lame.
Not really. We've tied a lot of things together.
We have,
since like 5.3 onward. We've really done a lot.
You don't need to do the Omega story to actually understand the story, really, right? Same with Alexander. You can kind of just bypass that. If you really want to.
I mean, if you really wanted to.
No.
Nero's going to be kind of weird coming in at the end. You're going to be like, what the heck is up with you, buddy?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. I mean, he does appear, I guess, later, or after Omega later. And that's, yeah, cool, whatever. But he's useless, whatever. Nero sucks. Nero should have died in the Crystal Tower.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Irrelevant. You get, you get that whole scene, and that's fine. With seeing everybody except Gaia, because Gaia...
Yeah, I really was thinking... That would have been an opportunity to be like, you know, a system check. Have you done the Eden series? Yes, okay. See, so's up. Even if it was like with Rain or something, it'd be fine. Kind of cool.
Yeah, but that's whatever. Didn't get that. I thought we might see her, but we didn't. And then we go and we talk to our good friend, Elidibus. Elidibus. Now, I read that, and I took that as it's a one-way ticket. I have a one-way ticket to the past.
Yeah, you misunderstood.
It's over.
Clearly.
But he says, like, you know, this will take everything I am. And there's, like, a whole scene about, like, oh, what did you think this was going to be? And, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, why are you surprised? And I'm like, this is a one-way ticket. Everything about that scene says one-way ticket.
No, he put more into it than he thought.
Yeah, whatever. But he says he's going to see you. And he is there as a part of the raid series.
Presumably. I mean, I feel like everyone knows, but
it's
not officially.
That's fair. He is that kid, though, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But you nicely arrive in Elpis. And Elpis starts off really strong and ends pretty well. The meandering, though, and the side quest meandering, which I did, was not pleasant. Oh, the side quests in that zone do kind of suck. Like, all of them.
I'm very glad I don't do all the side quests while doing the MSQ, because I feel like it would make zones take too long. And Elpis is a long zone, story-wise. Like, you're there a long time. There's a lot of long cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes quite a while. Now, I wasn't bothered by it. I pretty much had a good time the entire time. I at the very last part where you have to, like, chase Medion, that's kind of annoying. And then when you have to go and find, like, Hermes in that sand pit or wherever the freaking...
The Marble place, yeah.
That was...
It's in the same area.
I don't know. I don't understand how it took me so long to find these people, but it took so long. That was the only part. That might have been the part I was most angry in the entire MSQ, was finding those people. I was genuinely getting mad. I don't understand how I missed them. I'm like, I must actually just be blind, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I hated the finding Medion thing. Absolutely loathed that. That was utterly stupid. I hated that could have been shortened. That is legitimately, I think that took 30 minutes.
Yeah, that could have been.
Like, now, I sucked it up, and I have to go to, like, every single one, and it's a whole deal. Okay? It's fine. But I bet you can't shave more than 5-10 minutes off that. That should not take 20 minutes to run around this stupid area.
Yeah, it's definitely way too long. You could have cut a lot of.
But yeah, everybody struggled with the stupid finding those two in the mogul pit thing. Everybody I've seen talk about it is like, that was stupid. I was in that zone doing fates, and people are like, where the heck are these people?
Man, I can't help but wonder if there is just something.
I think there's something weird about it, like where they don't spawn for a little bit. But I don't know. I think that took me forever. I stopped fighting things.
Yeah.
And I just started running through that crap, and other people killed my crap too. It was pretty funny. I got experience for it too.
Nice.
Even though I didn't touch it because it technically...
You spawned it though.
Spawned on me, and I was like, that's hilarious.
That's pretty good. No, but those are the only two examples of that zone that I was like... Otherwise, I think that's a pretty cool zone. You know, you're hanging out with Emisel and Hythlodaeus, and then Vina and Hermes and Medion.
Yeah, the zone starts really well, though.
It's pretty cool.
You come in, and they're just like, do you see that nonsense over there? And Emisel is having no part of that. It's my favorite part.
Just ignoring it.
That he is like, yeah, I saw it. Let's go. We got things to do. And Hythlodaeus is like, yeah, but we're here on... Whose grace? Oh, yeah, mine. Yeah, by the way, we don't get to move forward unless I want to move forward.
Yeah.
Just saying them itself. Just as a friendly reminder.
I'm in control.
Will you please do something about that? Fine. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's... That's definitely a zone that I don't know I saw anyone predict.
That is the first moment where I went, okay.
Yeah,
You said I was going to be surprised that you did this. And you win.
I did not
think
we were going here. I did not know we were going to the significantly far in the past. Not like a couple years, but like 12,000 years or some crap.
Yeah, I don't like the time travel thing.
I'm not a big fan of time travel in my stories.
I don't like the paradox that we're never going to address. But it also partially frustrates me because we've acknowledged that there are different world lines through this one of these side stories.
Right.
So we already have something in place where we could have easily just said this is how it works.
No,
we're not going to use
just doing
that
a paradox.
because we write these stories and then we assume nobody reads them.
Now, I will say that as far as Final Fantasy history goes, this is not the first paradox we're working with.
That's fine.
Final Fantasy I and Final Fantasy VIII have some pretty significant ones. So,
yeah, and 8 spends 20 minutes trying to explain it to you so that it sounds like we put some effort in. Okay?
Yeah, true.
So we tried. 1 is too old, I can forgive that. This is not old.
It's pretty old now.
This came out late. 1, your delay, not acceptable, but that's fine. And 2, it's stupid. You already have systems in place that you've already acknowledged. Just do that. But nope, it's not what we did, and so that's a whole nonsense deal that I will hate for forever.
I'm just not going to dwell on it, because I know if I dwell on it, I'll just be like, I don't really get it. I don't know why this had to happen. Time travel just ruins things.
But it ruins things, but
I think this is a good example of, like, if you're going to do it, then just don't acknowledge the problems. Just roll with it. Be like, this is just a story. You're here for the fun of it, not because you're trying to, really parse all the details of the story. Because if you did that for 14, I feel like this game would fall apart a lot anyway.
I mean, it definitely has problems because it's a game.
Yeah.
And we will not acknowledge everything. That's fine. But this is a pretty glaring one that bothers me a lot. But that's fine. That zone kind of meanders, and then I just really want, like, after you get to the scene with Hermes and sending out all the Meteons.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not, like, super quickly, but it's decently fast that we get there. I was like, yep, I feel pretty confident about basic storyline of what's about to happen. He goes insane, these reports don't go well, bad things happen. You cause problems. Great. And then that's what happens. Like, and I'm like, okay, that was kind of predictable, and I didn't think you were gonna bring Vana, my friend, here.
I feel like that might be even the best part, is the stuff with Vana. I think is really cool. Like, I really feel like you built for not being a character that's super relevant for very long in this story, I feel like we established a connection with this character very quickly. And that might just be her charisma, but I feel like it's really well done, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a connection with this character, and now we make this promise, and it carries their time, and that all works really well, especially with, like, the second trial. I think it's pretty well done. I really enjoy that.
I mean, it's well done. I like her sword a lot.
Oh, her sword's really cool. That's the paladin sword you get from the trial, too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Too bad I don't play paladin.
Yeah.
But that zone is kind of just predictable in the larger details and how it's going to run. I'm like, okay. And then the side quests really drag in the second half, and I just really wanted to be done. And then we finally get there, and Llama Dog, my friend, ferries me around again. And I'm like, I hate this thing.
I thought it was pretty funny that we brought it back, and it was like, okay, well, at least it's explained itself now. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I like the explanation of it. That's good, but
yeah.
It's like, okay.
Then you get a fighter. That's pretty cool.
Well, you get to... I mean, you do fight, good old Heidelin.
Yeah, you gotta prove it. Well, you get to prove yourself to Vana.
Oh, yeah. That was incredibly annoying on Melee.
Oh, I believe it.
And that's how basically all of those duties work. Would you like to have something that jumps around frequently and is really annoying? Yes. No, I wouldn't. Please stop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, being on Summoner, most of these things were very, very easy. I'm hitting my green, red, and yellow buttons, and I'm just running around. I'm good.
Like, I feel like it was fine, and it was decent. Like, it worked.
Yeah, I think so.
But I was like, okay.
It has a cool piece of music in it.
I don't remember the music being good or bad there, which means it wasn't the same as every other piece of music that we heard.
Yeah, it's actually like a song.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I remembered it being, but I don't remember it being very good or bad.
But yeah, no, I think Elpis is a cool zone. I feel like you learn a lot about the characters. I think it's kind of unfortunate that like Medion is the end boss of like the saga because he just comes in this expansion.
Oh, I was pretty positive. So after Zodiac wasn't the final trial.
Yeah.
Or wasn't later, I was like, well, we're killing Heidelin. That's happening somehow.
Yeah.
So that's trial 2. And then we got to Medion nonsense, and I was like, this is trial 3 in some fashion. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm calling it right now, and I was right.
Yeah, I think it was obvious at that point. But I do think it's done well. It's not like I think it's done poorly or anything. I just think it could have been cool to have something we already knew. But I guess, you know...
I mean, you got Xenos, so I don't know what else you want.
People
here.
would have been so mad if he was the actual trial.
I mean, sure.
People would have been so mad. No, I think it all works pretty well.
You know, you get a lot of lore dump, which was nice. You get Emmett Selk, if you talk to him after one of those scenes, it tells you who the 12 are, or the convocation of the 14 are.
Yeah.
And, like, what their names are and what their specifications are. And I was like, that's good, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's cool stuff. I think it's a cool zone. Yeah, in general, I have good thoughts about it. But
yeah, I think the story of that zone is good, right?
Yeah.
It's a little lengthy.
It is long.
But I don't feel like there's a bunch of crap that need to be cut out from the story. Necessarily. Like,
right. No, I agree.
I think they handled their length there pretty well.
Yeah, it's like shorten the chase with Medion down a bit.
Yeah,
and we would have been golden.
Well, yeah, I don't need to spend forever in the Marlboro pits, but yeah.
Yeah, but, you know...
Basically, your stuff in that specific area.
Yeah,
it's the same area.
They were, like, rushing there. They were like, oh, crap, I don't know. It is what it is. In general, it didn't take away overall from the experience to me. I think it is a good one.
But yeah, then you get to Katissus.
Yeah.
And that dungeon is fine. I don't like this dungeon a whole lot. I don't think it's great.
I think this is a cool dungeon. This is the first dungeon of the expansion where I'm like, oh, I like this dungeon. I like the music in it. The only thing I don't like is the first boss disappearing for so long. Just because rotations just get a little weird sometimes with it. Like, generally you can still get like your 1 and 2 minutes off pretty well. But I'm not a big fan of bosses that jump away for too long. And he disappears for a while.
He disappears for a while so that you can know where he's going.
Yeah, I understand.
really suck, but I'm like, I feel like it's not that hard.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I'm not that bad at this game. I can figure this out. Let me just hit my buttons. But, nope, disappears. But that's the only thing I don't really like. Otherwise, I think this is a good dungeon. I think the second boss is fine. And then I think Hermes is a really cool boss fight.
No, I just didn't need, like, well, I'm gonna draw these things in and spit them back out. Okay, that's not very interesting. Not very enjoyable. This fight's kind of boring. I don't really feel like I care about this fight at all.
No, I don't know. I think it's cool. I like it. I like it because it has severe consequences for failure. And that
everything has severe consequences.
The wind pushes you, and you're hitting the wall, and so you get like a Vuln stack and then like a bleed effect.
Yeah.
And then it's very easy to die. And I like that. So it's like, oh, okay. It feels like an actual boss.
Like, I don't think it's designed poorly. I just wasn't that interested in the fight. I was like, okay, great. Like, I'd already been in this zone too long. And I was just like, okay, yep, Hermes. Let's just take Hermes out. Like, I knew I was taking you out pretty early, and I just wanted to get here and take you out.
Well, I don't know.
And I feel like it's more a problem of, like, your story became so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, okay, great. Now, his plan at the end, I didn't like that.
That's pretty cool.
I was pretty like, oh, that's pretty well thought out, buddy.
Yeah, it's interesting because it is something that within the predictableness isn't necessarily predictable.
I mean, you foreshadow that with talking about it, but I didn't call that.
It'd been so long that it's like, okay. When they said it, I was like, okay, that'll be important somehow. I didn't think about it, and then he's like, oh yeah, summon forth this time thing, or the memory thing, and it's like, oh. And then, yeah, he's like, we're going to make this as fair as possible. Is it Vana or Hythlodaeus maybe? It's like, well, you managed. Good for you.
Oh, Hildebrand is a
He's like,
nice guy.
It's pretty. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty cool, and that's a cool scene. I think it's well done. It's pretty exciting, like story-wise. Like, okay, what's gonna happen? You have to make it out because you're integral.
Yeah, I like how you get out though.
Yeah,
they're
cool.
like inching you over there, and then they're like mocking him afterwards. They're like, "Yeah, I don't know what you thought. Well, what a moron you are."
Yeah.
Like, if you thought he was that much of a moron, I don't know why he's keeping you all at bay. There's 3 of you, by the way, and a llama dog. Like, but yeah, no, after the scene, it was good. I really like that.
It was good. And then, yeah, you get a long scene after that where, they're all alive, you see them, and then you're with Vana. You see, it's like, all right, you gotta go back. See you later. It's gonna be a little while. And then you get that long scene where it's like, oh, okay, this is one of the moments where we need to tell you, the person playing the game, that you need to buckle in, this is a long scene. And it's like, I feel like this whole zone could have just been that warning.
There were some really long, there were like 20-minute scenes that got nothing, like no warnings. And then, yeah, there's that. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, and then you get to listen to answers again.
Yeah.
And see her kind of become Heidelin.
You're not really seeing her become Heidelin.
Well,
you're kind of
Saunders, right?
You're kind of seeing her do things, and it's like, okay, I don't really... Okay.
Well, she pulls out her sword and then, slams it, and it's like, I sunder this world, or whatever, and then, see...
Yeah, but I don't really know what she's doing. She potentially just murders all those people, like...
Nah, I thought she killed them. I was like, good for you. Screw those guys. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it didn't really tell me she killed him. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not super clear.
Like, we allude to this ceremony in the second Ander dungeon, right? And then we just don't talk, we don't really show it, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't care. Vana does cool things, she is Heidelin, but we all basically knew that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I saw someone who had puzzled that all together from the first time Vana appears.
Huh, that's pretty good.
And I was like, that all makes sense. Like, everything you say about that makes perfect sense. I didn't get any of it.
Some people are good.
And then I was like, all right, buddy, good job. She's there, she does her thing. That scene's kind of lengthy, and I don't know why you need to see everybody again. Like, what are they doing? They're just wandering around? Like, okay.
It did make me excited to see Heidelin in the story, though. After that, I was like, I'm really excited to see Heidelin and reconnect with her. I think that's going to be really exciting. And it effectively made me want to continue on. Like, all right, I don't want to stop right now.
I mean, it was interesting.
I don't even remember the stop points I chose for when I had to actually sleep. I think I finished Zodiac before I slept, at least.
I don't know. I generally did it by zones pretty frequently. Or like, okay, well, I already have to stop to do, 10 side quests. All right. Yeah, because I do these 10 side quests. I'm going to be done.
Because I did this all in 3 days, I think.
Yeah, I was about 4 full days. So, but yeah, then you get to the worst zone again.
Yay, Labyrinthos!
But it's worse this time around.
Yeah, somehow worse. Now, I will say, I did like the engineer guy, the Lalafell.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him. I thought he was cool.
He's basically not there. He does his thing, and we kind of forget about him. That's fine, whatever. My deal was just like, I don't want to do fetch quests. I don't care about Uranche and his weird thing.
Oh.
I don't care about anything that's happening. I was really kind of getting frustrated with just how stupidly irrelevant that whole second.
But the grapes.
Felt. Did you just make a grapes meme?
Yeah, because I know you hate it.
Because it's stupid. That's not even relevant when you were going through. You forgot there were even grapes in that zone.
No, I didn't. I actually noticed the grapes.
I noticed the grapes.
Because we have to eat all the fruit. Oh, look, a lemon. Oh, so you don't like the lemon. How's that?
Yeah, whatever. Didn't matter. That was
a long section.
That was a long section where I feel like we did nothing. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's all just...
Now, it culminates really nicely.
Yeah, sure.
Right, it culminates great. Now, we could have had an hour of Labyrinthos time too, and then culmination, and it would have been fine. I would have moved right along.
Yep.
But we didn't.
Yeah, it's
and that kind of sucked. And it's right at the end where you just know you want to be done. I've been pushing really hard for 3 days. And I'm just like, okay. So that was a bad call. I feel like that really sucked.
Yeah, I think that's the worst section of the expansion, is Labyrinthos Part 2, dealing with... Like, I like the Lopper Reach and whatnot, and I think these would have been good side quests, but man, they did not need to be MSQ.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much.
It felt like a Realm Reborn again, where you're just doing stupid things to do stupid things.
It was too much. It is what it is, though. And then...
Yeah, I like how everything comes together.
It comes together in a good scene, like with Urianger and Moonbreeda's parents, I think is cool.
No, I didn't care
I think
about
it's
that.
weird that you see, like, everybody's, like, these people you don't know that you've just collected are all just kind of watching this scene. Like, that's gonna be really awkward. If I'm in public and then suddenly, like, these people are talking about this, like, reunion and, like, this person that died, and I'm just standing around watching, I'm gonna feel a little, like, is this invasive? I don't really know what's going on.
It was really weird, but it was also just too little too late, right?
I mean,
she died
so
long
ago.
I sometimes forget that she is, like, the first meaningful death.
See, that's like 2.3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, Olympus kills her, right?
No, it's
no,
Nabrialis.
No. Yeah, you're right. It's Nabrialis who comes in and he gets screwed over because she's better.
Yeah, but I'm just like, okay. I do think we could have done something with this a long time ago. I still don't think it's a bad scene. I think it's pretty good. I like it because I like Urianger. But it is a little weird that we're like, oh, yeah, Moonbreda, I forget about her sometimes. She's old news.
I don't care. I figured we were going to do something when we teased it early.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but this is too little too late. Let's not do something really stupid with this. And then, Labyrinthos, would you like to do a bunch of fetch quests and then do this? No.
Really? This is a really bad one, too, because you have to go talk to a bunch of people to get them to go talk to the Loprates. But some of them won't do it, so you're finding, 8 people or something? And it's like, oh my god, just stop.
I only had to talk to 2 extra people.
Oh, I talked to 5 extra people or some crap. I was like, oh my god.
I kind of wanted to go talk to everybody just to see what they had to say.
No.
But then I was
Nothing
like,
good.
no, I just need to get this zone over with because I will feel better when we move on from this zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, then everybody comes in and they help you out. And that was good. I liked that we actually said, look, we got to call in the favors that I have racked up in excessive value.
Yeah, there's the Sky Pirates. Like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I like that they're there.
Yeah.
I like that, he, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that guy. You know that guy.
I do remember him.
Yeah.
Redder.
And then he's with Kate Sith, and you're like, oh,
yeah, they fly by, and you're like, okay, great.
Didn't expect to see you.
Like,
but
you
that's
finally
cool.
got a nod, because I think that was the only thing that hadn't got a nod at that point.
Pretty much.
Well, that, and Yugiri, and Hilda. Yeah. And Hilda still got snuffed the entire way through.
It's coming.
The first patch, there's Hilda, 2 scenes in. Whatever. I don't think Hilda's that important that she could have been there, but, 1 million got to be there, and I'm like, okay. If 1 million gets to be here, Hilda gets to be here.
You would think.
But no, that's fine, whatever. But yeah, everybody comes in, they all respond to your favor. It's pretty good. And
it's
I'm
cool.
Yeah.
You really see some pretty weird ones. You see, Alpha and Omega hanging out. It's like, oh, okay. That's kind of cute. Get to see them again. Nero never says a word, but he's there.
He's nods too.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, Nero, cool. I guess you've come a long way from being a Sid simp. Here we are. And, you see a lot of people. It's a cool scene. You see, the, what's the star? The Evilise airship called. I don't remember its name.
I remember. Thing I noticed when we pan out to that, I was like, oh, my friend, that's my ship?
Yeah, it's like, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you see a lot, so...
The Kojin get involved? I really liked the Kojin.
The Kojin.
I like that Soroban got to come back.
I was like, oh, Soroban. Our friend.
You are my friend. You brought me all the best relics.
Yeah.
Like a good friend would.
Yeah, no, that's a cool scene. Now,
yeah, it goes on a little long on the back end.
Oh, it's long.
And I was like, okay, let's end this. Let's go. This was cool. And then you're like, okay, now we're gonna leave. No, you got 2 more hours before you can leave.
Well,
you got to go to the forum.
With that scene though, how do you feel about the twins' dad? What was his name? Haas? I don't know. I can't do their names.
It's an F. by the way.
Oh yeah, it is Forsafon. Whatever, dude.
Is the twins' father.
Yeah, that guy. What do you think about his moment with them there?
I knew the moment was coming.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to be there. Right? I just didn't care. I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to move on. Let's go. I have a world to save. No, you don't care. Okay.
My problem is, since his inclusion in patch 5.5?
He comes in at 5, yeah. He's right at the end.
Yeah, he's right there at the end at 5. And people were like, man, I hate this guy so much. Like, people were just ragging on this character across, like, boards and whatnot.
Really?
Oh, they were like, a lot of people were like, he has, like, the most punchable face since Asahi. And I'm like, they really hated this guy since how he treated the twins. And I'm like, if you guys think that this isn't going to culminate in a family moment, you are playing the wrong video game. Because that is what this is eventually going to culminate in. And I'm just waiting for that. I don't feel like I have to hate this guy because it's just going to turn into that. So I never really hated the guy. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm sure you had a reason. Oh, look, your twins were born. And then you felt like you had a duty. Yep, never seen that story before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a JRPG.
Yeah.
Like, the family reunion thing. It was happening.
And then you have their mom just like, oh yeah, I've been using all of our funds for this. Don't worry about that.
She's great. I like her. She's really nice.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's funny. She's top notch.
Yeah, so, the scene came and I was like, all right, I'm glad this is done now. Moving on.
It's just such a long run of crap to finally get something good, and then we just immediately launched back into stupid crap. In the same scene. Not even a break.
It's a long scene.
And I was like...
that scene might be like 30 to 40 minutes or some crap. Did it give a warning?
I don't think so. I don't remember, though.
That one needed a warning. That's a long one.
The warning system is arbitrary.
Yeah, it's true.
It's used appropriately the first time.
The very first time.
And then it's just nonsense after that.
It's funny. But yeah, then you get to go and hang out with all your Scion friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
It was fine.
My favorite one was hanging out with the trio at...
Yeah, that was good.
Getting drunk together.
I mean, I did not get drunk. My water was served in a wine glass.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah. I like that they all drank, like they put some effort into, like, Y'shtola would definitely be drinking wine.
Yeah.
Okay?
And she's, like, swirling it.
Yeah, she is the connoisseur status, aerating that. And
that is really good.
Those details were great.
That was pretty good.
I appreciated that. Now, I mean, if that's what you solved in your polish phase, great, but, like...
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know what you didn't solve? The clipping that occurs with the receptionist into Charleon.
There's no clipping in this game.
Just massively through her glasses, too. It was so egregious.
No clipping in this game.
Because I was paying really close attention to that crap after I had to deal with all of this delay crap like everybody else, but I was still angered. There's a lot of nonsense clipping that's not on me. Clipping on me is irrelevant. That's going to happen. Oh, I'm a dragoon. My spirit clips on legit everything.
Yeah, and you have a tail.
Outfits aren't as bad on the tail most of the time. Some of them are not.
At least you don't have long hair.
Well, I chose short hair because I'm an adventurer.
Long hair on female characters gets ridiculous. And now it just looks so bad so often because of the clipping. I hate it.
But yeah, I mean, theirs was good. I mean, Grahatia earned some points because he wakes up Alize. And that's waking people up is a pretty, like,
that's a bad thing to do.
Criminal offense. But it's Alize, and she deserves nothing but the worst.
Yeah.
And Grahatia, although unintentional, it earned him a little bit of points. Well, good job, Grahatia. Grahatia, you've come a long way. Buddy. You've come a really long way, and I like you, buddy.
But yeah, you get to hang out with them.
And then I really wanted the scene to be me coming in halfway through dinner with Instinian and them.
That would have been so good.
Because I just wanted to feel the palpable awkwardness of Instinian.
That would have been awesome.
But we didn't get that. I guess we did get the food scene earlier. We're on a tangent to that. You remember that? The first night you stay?
Yeah.
Grahatia and Alize, and she steals from him.
Yeah.
Like a jerk.
And he's like, what the heck? My favorite part of that, though, is just Graha just eating the burger. Like, he's just over here, like, nodding along.
He's just munching along.
And he's just eating it. And it's like, that's pretty funny. That's some good stuff. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. Now, I chose, like, this is my room when they're like, it's getting late.
I chose the same thing.
And I was like, No, you don't even care. You don't even care that I want some sleep. You know who's the most valuable member of this team again? Oh, that's me. Get out of my room now.
It's Alice.
What? She's not even. There's a value meter. She doesn't even get on there.
Yeah. I mean,
she's not even.
She brings the team down. That's her value.
That's her role. I don't know if I'd call that her value. The eating scene's there, but I really wanted something like that with Stinian over there. Just like awkwardness.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been good. But admittedly, the whole section is long. So.
It's long. We could have taken out, whatever their father's massively lengthy speech and just make that a lot shorter, and we could have had time for that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, either way, you do that, and then finally we get to go down to the freaking ship, Ragnarok.
I was really hating on that name when they're like, I really scoured through, and like, Louis Sois mentioned. Mm-hmm. And you're like, if this ship is called Louis Sois or something else that's stupid like that, I am going to flip my case. And then they're like, Ragnarok, and I'm like, oh yeah, because you couldn't give 8 a nod in its own raid series. But here it is. All right.
Yeah, you got the Ragnarok. That was pretty cool. Bunch of people to talk to. Again, like, I just talked to a lot of people.
Oh, I had to talk to all of those people,
Oh, now I gotta talk to all of you again. And then, cutscene, now I have to talk to all of you again. Oh my god. Just let me move on. Yeah, please.
I was really ready to move on. And then we finally get to move on.
Get on the ship.
We finally are entering the last area.
And then somehow, we get a good conversation between Garuda and Susano.
I just want to say, I did not hate any of that.
I didn't hate it at all.
I really liked that. I saw them coming out, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then, is Susano the first one to speak?
I think so.
Yeah, and...
Oh, wait, no, I think Garuda's, like, complaining. And then Susano comes in and is like, hey, nah.
Yeah, my good old resilient souls, I salute you. That's like the best line in any trial. When I get Susano, I'm, like, excited to hear that line.
That's really funny.
I really like it. I don't know what it is. Like, his delivery's really good. But yeah, them talking to each other. And I thought that was really nice. It was kind of a weird, like, JRPG nonsense thing.
Oh,
if we just, like... It'll be, yeah. And you're like, I understand the words you said, and I'm not going to question anything about that.
It's very JRPG, it's very anime, it's very over the top. Now we're seeing all the primals come in, fly into the ship, and now they're our power. It's way over, it's ridiculous. But I feel like it's an earned moment. In that, like, I fought all these characters, I have some connection because of it, and all these beast tribes, and, like, it just feels all interconnected and earned, and it's kind of cool to see all these things and acknowledge, like, their existence in some form. Like, I think it works really well.
I mean, there was a lot of culmination of, like, we brought everything together.
Yeah.
And that was good. I feel like that was really nice. Especially when you've done all this content. And you really, like, yeah, I feel like we're actually culminating all this. When you've done all these beast tribes and you've went through all this crap, and...
It's neat.
It's good. It felt like a lot of things paid off, which was nice. But then we finally get to good old Ultima Thule.
Yeah, Ultima Thule.
Where Thancred dies before we get there. And it was tragic and sad.
I'm curious to know how many people thought he died there.
Like, I was like 90% sure he wasn't dead. But the last 10% sealed itself when Stinian also disappeared. I was like, yeah, okay. Please, the twins are next, yes?
No.
No.
You know that's not it.
They're not.
No, that's not it. But I think Ultima Thule is visually very cool. The skybox, I think, is really cool, I should say.
No. Lies.
I like it. There's a lot of cool things there. I like going through these different... Well, the dragon history... about. But the new people, Aya people, I thought they were really cool. I love their design. They're really neat. And then the Omicrons I thought were pretty cool. I think like the whole zone, like as kind of a learning some interesting lore from these, other worlds is very cool. Now I saw the Thancred thing and I'm like, Thancred's not dead because you wouldn't kill a character of that significance in such an unceremonious manner. It wouldn't happen. You have to make a big thing out of everybody's death. Moon Brita gets a big scene out of her death, and C's hardly relevant, even when she dies. And Thancred, who's been around for a long time, 1.0, is not gonna have this happen. So I was just like, no, he's alive somehow. And then it's like, oh, he is this place or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, really that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but okay.
This is really stupid.
Feelings are really cool.
Dynamis.
Yeah, this is a JRPG, and my friends are my power.
Straight up, though.
And so we get there, going through, and I like a lot of the speeches. I do. I think they're pretty cool. I like the delivery. I especially like Graha, actually. I think that's a pretty cool moment. But I also like it because he kind of just looks back at you and smiles, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how you handle that moment. That's
what I didn't like was that he's like, you gotta just let it happen. And I'm like, I was gonna let it happen either way. Don't be trying to make me complicit in your stupidity.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna try to stop you, bud. I gotta get to the end.
Yeah, I need to move forward. It's already later than I thought it was gonna be today when I finish this.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to hurry up with your speech a little bit. We already passed the good speech.
So, no, I in general, I think it's a cool zone, but it's not a perfect zone by any stretch.
I mean, the skybox looks fine, okay? It looks like how it should when I go out there.
Yeah.
You know where the sky looks better? The moon. You know what I really appreciate about the moon that I feel like you probably didn't notice?
What's that?
The constellations are closer to you.
Yeah, I did not notice that.
Yeah. So ever since I noticed that they were actually in the sky, I'm always looking for them.
Oh, okay.
To see if they're there. And they're closer. They're bigger. And I really appreciated that detail.
That's pretty cool.
But after you kill Zodiark, the center of that zone, always looking good. I really like how that looks.
Yeah.
Now, the moon itself is boring. But yeah, Ultima Thule is, it looks fine. That zone went very predictable. After you knew it was up.
It was a very...
The music in that zone, though. I never want to hear that track again.
That song? Or, like, the full song after everything's over? Or are we talking about, like, when you first get there? Because it like, advances the song.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any of it ever again. I've heard it so many times on repeat.
No, gotcha.
Because I had to do all the stupid fates in that zone. And I hated it.
Man,
I have that orchestral, by the way, if you're wondering, because I had to use my gemstones for something.
Yeah, great. I mean, I like the song. I think it's a good song. I think it's a good song to just casually listen to. And I think it's used well in the MSQ. I enjoy it. Do I think, like, any song is going to get old if you sit in the zone forever? Yeah.
It got old the second time it started.
But that's a problem I have with the entire game. So, I feel like the battle themes in every expansion, by the time I'm done with the expansion, I am ready to move on. Like, holy crap, I've listened to the Shadowbringers battle themes, and the dungeon boss themes, and the final dungeon boss themes, and all that crap. Way too much. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're not bad pieces of music, but I've heard it a lot.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was fitting for a little bit in Ultima Thule, and then it wasn't, and I just wanted to move on, and I was done, and then I hate that, and then I'm doing things I hate doing in this zone with this crap music.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it's good.
I mean, the best part of that is the Aya people or whatever.
The Aya people are really cool. I like them.
They're the best part of that. That's our beast tribe. We're going to get a third beast tribe.
And it's them.
And it's them, and I'm excited.
That's cool. I mean, you learn a lot about just kind of different things. Kind of throws out some interesting, like, philosophies of these cultures that, are more or less mirrors of some thoughts among us people. But I think it's pretty cool. And then, everyone disappears. The twins are finally gone. You're like, finally. And then you get to do your slow RP walk. Forces you to RP walk up.
Oh, yeah, I was angered.
But the funny thing is, I was going to walk anyway. I was like, you know what? This is a good moment to RP walk. I'm going to do it. And then it did it anyway. And I was like, oh.
Oh, no,
you were reading my mind.
I was done. I was so angered by that.
I was like, oh, this is what I reported.
I really just want to move on. But I have to stop at all these spots.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Like, if you just let me walk normal, I would have moved on.
Were you able to identify everybody?
Voice-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because some of them I was like, easy. Some of them I'm like...
I can tell you right now, most of those I did not know.
Woo! Now, I watched a lot of the MSQ twice. Because I watched a streamer on Twitch do it. And he kind of got his thoughts. And it allowed me to kind of see some things from a different perspective, whatever else. And when he did it, I was able to identify more. And then he identified one I didn't know. I'm like, okay, I get it more now. But there's still a couple I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know. That's fine.
Yeah, it didn't feel as impactful when you're like, I don't remember.
Could have just put the name. That would have been fun.
Would have been smarter. But they didn't.
It's fine.
They didn't do that.
We get up there.
You know what we definitely haven't talked about, though?
What's that?
We definitely said Hyperbola.
Oh, my
or
God.
the Antithescope and Hydaelyn.
Oh, God.
So irrelevant.
Yeah, you're right.
Entirely irrelevant. Anyway.
We just wanted to get past Labyrinthos. So
yeah,
that's the feeling we had.
Yeah, I was so done with Labyrinthos. But anyway, yeah.
We need to go back.
But yeah, we'll go back to that. So we RP walk up there, and that was really kind of annoying. And then that's the final dungeon, right? You start the final dungeon right
here.
Dead
ends. You get a long scene with Emmett Selt and Hythlodaeus.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
Pretty cool.
I thought that really called himself together really well.
And he's kind of mocking you. Don't pity me. I don't need it.
Hythlodaeus is over there like, yeah, fine, buddy. You're a little grumpy.
Yeah, that's how it
You
goes.
need a Snickers, buddy?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Emmett Selt
Maybe if they had invented Snickers, that would have fixed a lot.
Anyway, Hydaelyn.
Yeah.
Well, the dungeon. We'll start with the dungeon.
A T-scope.
Yeah, we'll start with this dungeon. That was kind of like, okay, this is all right, whatever.
Well, it's interesting because you get the conversation with Crow beforehand. It's like, oh, you might run into some familiar faces. And I'm like...
You knew.
And I was like, okay, who are we going to get? I did not think it was going to be the bosses we got. I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting you. Now, can I say... What's her name?
I don't remember which one you're trying to talk about.
The first one, the woman.
Where is she relevant at? I've forgotten a lot about this dungeon already.
She's the first boss.
Yeah. Where is she relevant at before she's the boss in this dungeon?
She is the ultimate Gaia simp.
Oh, Livius.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Von...
Well, yeah, don't expect me to get those things. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets to come back.
And I'm like, I saw that name and I was like, what? Okay. It was also really funny because for the world racers and whatnot, the people who were getting to the extremes as fast as possible, I watched that. They got to this dungeon and they were like going through and they get to the boss and they're like, what is happening? But there's a lot of moments where they were just like, I have no idea what is happening right now. I can't wait to find out. It's pretty funny, but yeah, no, you see them, and then you get Riton. I always say Riton. I don't think that's actually right for the second boss. And it's like, okay, but you see, Papa Limo involves himself there and takes out
Ilsberg.
Yeah, and then you see
you see Hoshafont. That gives you the buff, and you see Minfilia.
You see Moonbrita.
Do you? I don't remember.
You don't see her, but see, one of the things in there is Moonbrita.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And then you also see Lady Iceheart.
Oh, you do see Ysel. I was pleased.
Yep.
My friend. I like Ysel.
And so...
I was actually really hoping to see Ysel.
Oh, yeah?
When we went down, I was like, oh, my friend. Please come back to me.
And you do. And yeah, I think that's a cool dungeon. I don't love doing the dungeon, but I think it is a cool dungeon.
I have only done that dungeon twice. I can tell you right now. I've only done it twice. I don't particularly think it's very enjoyable. You know what really screws with me on Ammon? It's his right-left thing.
Right-left thing, yeah, it throws me off too.
I have died to that a lot because I'll take that hit every time. Because the first time isn't good enough for me to remember that it's stupid.
Yeah.
No, I gotta take this hit every single time and I hate it.
Yeah, it's funny. I get the mechanic. And then the big cheese boss also does the same thing later on.
But yeah, that screws with me too. Because there's actual other mechanics happening during that.
Yeah.
And I get really screwed on that. I did that recently. That's the final dungeon I've done the most. And
yeah.
And I was doing really good, and then I messed up once. I didn't die,
But no, that's a cool dungeon. And then the cutscene at the end, I also like. I like how Asa, he comes back, and I'm like, yes.
I didn't need that.
I thought it was funny. Some of these antagonists that people really like to complain about, I kind of just enjoyed.
I just don't care. I never his role was good. He made Tsukiyomi go insane. Well, Suyu, or whatever, go insane. We bring that back a lot in the range physical role quest.
Yeah. But I thought that was I like that scene. I think it's great. And then it leads into maybe my favorite moment of the expansion.
We skipped over your favorite moment of the expansion. This is pretty good.
I really, it's a long episode, and then it's also like Labyrinthos I was just like, that place. Just move on.
Labyrinthos really does just feel like a bridge.
It just sucks. It does. And I just feel like I could have placed this a little bit better. But the Heidelin moment where you go in and you get to talk to her, her design's really cool. I love that. I like the area. It's all really cool. And then, she's like, this is our final trial and whatnot. It feels really powerful. It's a really powerful moment. And then I like how in your choices you can refer to her as Vana after that.
Oh, I straight up did.
And I did too. I was like, that's a nice touch. And she acknowledges the past then. And it's all so good. And then it's like, okay, we're all going to fight. And then they made the trial nope, not that. Well, it is a trial, but they made it so that you could use the trust system with the trial, which I was really shocked. I really didn't think they would do that.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And so I did it on the trust system because I just it felt like what I wanted to do with the story. And I thought that was a really cool touch. It worked really well. I think it's a cool fight. The Extreme, I like. I has some cool mechanics that I like. And I just think, wow, this is a great moment. I really like this a lot. I'm glad Heidelin wasn't evil. Although originally that's kind of what I wanted. But I'm like, you know what? I'm glad this is how it went out because this worked really well.
I mean, I think it works itself out pretty nicely. I agree they wrote that where it made sense and it worked. And I appreciated that. Now, I did not do that trial with the trust system originally. I've done it since with the trust system.
Yeah.
I think that was like on my fourth clear. But doing that through Party Finder, oh man, that was rough. That was like a 45-minute clear, let me tell you what. That was rough.
It's funny because in Shadowbringers you had Twintania, or I always call it Titania, and Innocence. Those fights I felt like were annoying to get in roulettes because people screwed those fights up all the time. I've gotten many wipes on both of those trials. And these, I'm dreading getting these in roulettes. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, well, let me tell you.
Oh no.
I mean, so I did finally get roulette on where I got Zodiac on Dancer. And so Dancer's the last thing I leveled.
Yeah.
Right? And that didn't go swimmingly. We didn't wipe. It didn't go awful. Now, we set the bar about as low as possible first clear. Right?
Yeah.
2 Glare Mages takes you 7 pulls to realize that a 5-hit stack-up marker means you have to actually heal. So that wasn't that terrible. I've not gotten Heidelin outside of purposefully doing it for the card. But I also had to abandon one of those runs to get the card.
Oh my god.
Because I joined 15 minutes in.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
And then I spent another, I think, 35 minutes in there.
Man, that's good.
Because they could not, for the life of them, figure it out. It was not happening. And it was just kind of everything. There wasn't let me explain. Nope. Everything. It just, people died and sucked. And I'll give you, on Melee, the stupid out, he's very quick.
Does it have AoEs in, a marker in normal?
It's a quick marker. It's like, you need to get out and it marks it so you can kind of see how big it is, but that's about it. So it's not really that different than Extreme on that front. But, oh my, yeah, that's a really quick, because it snapshots you really fast for that. If you are not moving, you're probably gonna get hit by that.
I don't know. I wasn't having any problems with it in Extreme, but I don't know.
What were you on?
I was doing melee combos on Red Mage, and I was just only able to just do perfectly fine.
Yeah, did you move right when you saw it?
I mean, I was able to stay an extra second if I could greed a little bit and get out. It wasn't that bad.
If you're in max melee, you can stay that extra second. But I'm telling you, every time I have risked trying to do anything, I take that hit.
Get better.
It's not get better. It's that it snapshots weird. Right?
I mean, some things do, yeah.
Now, it means that once I feel that I am safely out, I can do whatever I want. I can do jumps and stuff because I know it's already snapshotted.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the nice part about that. But that is, yeah. That's the only part where I was like, okay, this is kind of stupid, because I got hit by that a lot, trying to really test the limits of where I could do things. And it's not a lot. There's not a lot of limit on that. What we didn't talk about with Zodiac, though, and go back to that, is that I cannot jump while bound. And that's really stupid.
That's a good life.
It's a really stupid thing, and I just don't know why they did that.
Because Dragoons suck, and they love making their lives
Dragoons
terrible.
get punished in some things. It was like Garuda in Fulmination.
Fulmination? For
Fulmination, this is the same tier. Right
they are
after
the same
each other.
tier. It's 5 and
fine.
6,
You know. But that, yeah. There's this large strip. If you jump, you will die. And if you run your rotation right, you shouldn't technically have to jump in that window.
Sure.
But, like,
Don't suck.
You're playing some risky games to achieve that. Anyway, that's really stupid. Things like that were really stupid. Anyway, but back to Hydaelyn. Hydaelyn feels good. Like, it feels like a culmination deal. Like, we're finally getting somewhere. And this fight feels different enough, even though it's not realistically that different.
Not really.
But it feels different. Right? It feels okay. And so that was, yeah, I think that's a good trial.
And
I like that moment.
It's a good moment. I like it a lot.
My one run with the Trust Kids did not go swimmingly.
Yeah, I believe it.
Jay decided, do I want to run in with this stack of marker?
Sure do.
Like, no, I'll do it now. And then he killed like Alize and someone else, which to his benefit.
Yeah.
He killed Alize.
Finally.
I mean, that's a good deal. But yeah, he almost wiped the entire raid though, and we were at like 10% or something, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Good stuff.
No. And I was on tank, and so I knew we were pretty close, and so I just popped mitigation to make sure I lived. I was like, I don't even care anymore. I will live, because if I die, we're not redoing this.
I suppose we could, get to the next part, Ultima Thule. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We did this in the right order.
Yeah, we are really good. Yeah, so you get to dead ends.
The dead ends.
And that first large pull.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, people die.
Yeah, so I healed that. And we did fine. I healed through that pull. I had to use light speed because it got really, really pretty clutch there at the end. But we lived through. There were no issues. But yeah, my first run of that, we definitely wiped there.
No,
you went with me.
Yeah, I was with you on your first run, right?
Yeah, you went with me on the first run. And that went not swimmingly.
That was bad. Well, that was like the third party I'd been in that day or whatever, in that dungeon where somebody left. And then it just kept continuing.
Both people left, right?
Well, yeah, when I did it with you, but like the first time I did that day, all 3 people left, so I had to abandon the dungeon. And then I got it again, and someone else left. And then I did it with you, and then 2 people left.
Our tank and our healer, though, they just were like, peace, not saying jack, nothing had went wrong except for that one wipe. Like,
yeah,
like nothing. And I get that, yeah, the large pool is sometimes difficult. And like
funny.
things go wrong. It's fine. I moved on.
Yeah, it was pretty funny stuff.
But I was just like, okay. Yeah, I feel like that dungeon is fine. I don't love that dungeon. I just kind of was like, okay.
I think it's visually pretty cool, especially the last section.
The last zone is really nice looking.
It's
we got
really
there and
pretty.
I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good looking.
That's pretty nice looking. But I like the bosses, actually, because they feel like a little bit harder than some of the other bosses from the expansion, which a lot of them I don't think were very hard. But these felt a little bit more like, okay, these have mechanics that could actually pretty easily kill you if you're not paying attention. And I've seen several healers die to several of the mechanics.
I'll tell you what, when I got gear gated going to the new raid, I died in that first boss where he immediately does the heavy raid wide and then does his AoE right in melee range.
No, that's the second boss.
Second boss. I died because it was like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was angry. And I just, normally I don't have to pay that much attention that quickly. And then, yeah, I died. I wiped that boss on them. Like,
nice. Nailed it. No, I think it's some pretty, well, the last boss I think is the easiest boss, actually. But
it's the easiest. It's also the most annoying.
Yeah.
Let me slow prance.
I'm just
Stop.
Jumping around.
Stop slow prancing. Oh, now I'm going to jump over here. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop jumping.
Overall, I think it's a pretty good dungeon. I think I like, I don't know, Amarant.
Amarant feels better.
I think Amarant feels better.
The first time through. Amarant sucks every time
As
after
a
that.
first experience, I think Amarant's cooler. But I like the bosses of this one overall more.
This dungeon felt shoehorned, right? It felt like we needed a final dungeon. Here it is.
A little bit, you're right. If that had just led into the trial, it actually would have probably felt pretty natural. Like, okay.
Yeah, it would have felt good. But whereas like Amarant feels like we gotta be here, we gotta do this. This is really cool. You get Emmett Selk narrating stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I think this tries to be like an Amarant, and it's not quite there. Although, again, I think the last part is very pretty. So
it looks nice, and I don't hate this dungeon.
Yeah,
I just think if you're gonna compare it back, then no, I don't think it's that great.
it's fair enough. But yeah, and then that leads into a great cutscene where our best friend flies in to help us out.
I knew he was coming in too.
Oh yeah,
There's the scene in Galamald where you don't do anything with him.
Yeah.
After you got to do that duty playing as all them.
Oh yeah, we skipped that.
Yeah, we
No
skipped
one
that
cares
pretty
about that
hardcore.
duty.
I mean, it's not super relevant. Like, it happens and we move on.
It's the trailer cutscene because the trailer plays
It's the
plays out there,
trailer cutscene.
and
Straight
then
up.
I get to be belittling to Alize, and then she gets mad, and that's fine. That's what matters.
I
From
mean,
that.
I get to be belittling to Alice. I get to play as Grahatia, too. Right?
You play as Alpha No and then Alize.
Oh, no, I get to play as Grahatia.
No.
Grahatia just comes in as a cool guy. But, yeah, so you get that scene with him there, and nothing happens with Xenos there. Even though he rightfully should have killed someone. Euless, Alize, maybe
Both.
again, Alize.
Yeah,
you
could
know,
have killed her.
Xenos. You didn't. You failed me. Right? And I was like, okay, we're not doing anything. And then we left him alone, and I was like, you're gonna come right in at the end.
Fuck
You're
yeah.
coming right. We're going where? Alright, Xenos, I don't know how you're gonna get here. Let's go.
Turns into a dragon, obviously.
And then he shows up as Shinru, and you're like, okay, I guess I don't care. You're my platform to fight on. Let's go, buddy.
I'll be honest, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a cool thing, but I'm a Xenos enjoyer for the most part. I think he probably should have died when he kills himself in Stormblood.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by that. But I've never hated his character. In general, I think he's the best villain in the game up until that point to me. Because I don't really like the villains very much in Heaven's Word. Well, I don't know. I like Telegy Adelegy, actually. I'm a fan of him. But in general, I like Xenos. And I was like, yes. I knew he was going to come in at the ending also. I was like, yes, I can't wait. It's going to make so many people mad, but I don't care. I enjoy this. I like the scene beforehand where all your friends are getting sucked up into a vortex. You're like, oh, I'm going to send you all away.
Oh, and the best, like, Alize looks at you,
Yeah,
too.
she's like, no, don't you dare.
Don't you even dare. I will murder you. And at least in my animation, I look back like cocky and jerk. I was like, don't test me. Button press.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good...
What now,
That's a really
Alize?
good moment. And
That
then,
was pretty funny, yeah.
And then you hear a knock, and then Xenos just bursts in, and it's like, yeah, there he is. And he says, my friend or whatever, and I'm like, yes, we are friends.
Xenos' weird obsession and weird way of looking at things is not doing it for me.
I'm fine with it.
Like,
He's a true sociopath, but you know.
he's a straight
he's crazy.
psychotic.
But I'm okay with that. Like, sometimes you just need a character that's just absolutely insane. And Xenos is that man. And he comes in. And then, yeah, you get a fucking fight Endsinger, the final boss, on his back. And I think that's pretty cool.
I think she's a little weird because she doesn't have a body.
I think it would be cool with a body, but I'm glad it's it's different. It's a boss I haven't seen in this game. So, at least off the top of my head. But I like it.
No, it's just kind of weird. Hades, basically the same thing, just designed differently.
Yeah, but Hades goes through a bunch of weird forms and...
Yeah, I don't care. It's basically the same thing. Like, the weird thing without a body and big arms. Okay, great. I don't care anymore. Let's move on. But, that fight is not great. Like the first time through, I sucked that up. I didn't didn't really feel great about that. When planets started flying, I was like, are we going Sephiroth right now? Is that what we're about to do?
It is a little Sephiroth-like.
And then we didn't quite do that, but those things hit. Those things are really hard to see because my camera can't go out very far on console, playing in the system that works for basically everything else on my world. And so it's really hard to see some of those, and then it's huge. It's massive.
Yeah, it's big.
Super big. I need it to be smaller. I feel like that could have been smaller and it would have been nicer. Not like drastically smaller. Not like it's so pitifully easy that you don't have to pay attention. But a little bit.
I don't know. I think it's a fine normal fight. I think Heidelin's my favorite normal mode. But I'm excited to see the extreme version of this fight and see what happens there. I'm curious if it's gonna be like a Hades kind of thing where it's really long, because the Hades extreme fight when it came out was stupidly long.
It's still long, I bet. I haven't done it recently.
Well, yeah, but if you turn off level sync, I don't know how bad it'd be. You might blow through it, but who knows? I'm excited to see what it turns out to be. But as a normal fight, it's kind of, it's pretty. There's not a lot of mechanics, to be honest. It's mostly just, middle or out. There's some growing puddles. Avoid those. Oh, look. Colliding planets. That's the mechanics.
Yeah, I never appreciate when we have to use the tank limit break.
It is what it is. It's only annoying because I hate wiping, and I wiped there the first time through because the tanks were just paying no attention.
I did. I've not wiped that. I did help make that not be a wipe on my last run of that, where I got my card.
What do you want, tank?
No.
Oh.
No. I had 7 new kids. 7 of them.
Oof.
Let me tell you. And it went fine. They all played pretty decently, right? We all made, they made mistakes. I ran that fight enough by that point that
you showed them up.
I was not getting hit by planets anymore. We do our thing, and then I'm like, tank limit break. But I was a little late, because I kind of forgot, and I was like, oh, this is going to not. And then they did it, and I was like, okay, great.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. But then that last part is boring.
I think I agree. Now, it depends on how much health, because I've gone into that phase where she's like 40% of her health. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to be here a little while. If it's like, she has like not that much, and you can kind of burn through it, I think it's cool. Like, the music's really good, and it's visually very good.
It's fine.
But it's 2 mechanics.
But it's very repetitive and not very pleasant, right?
It's just a victory lap kind of moment.
The science coming in and saving you with prayer, I was like, I pretty much had called that was going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure it was going to happen here. But I saw several people be very surprised going through that. They were like, oh, guess we didn't hit it in time. And I'm like, no, we hit that in time. I know we hit that in time.
Yeah.
We're good. And then I had the person pay me $5 million to help them through.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
$5 million.
Yeah, the party finder.
Easy money.
That person paid $5 million to everybody who helped them clear that. And they paid more for the dungeon. People carried them through the dungeon, too.
That's insane.
I don't know how much they paid for the dungeon, because I didn't see that party finder up. But
were they a DPS?
No, they were in healer.
They were on healer? Interesting.
Like, I was just like, okay, great. I didn't think I was going to get paid for it either. But I needed to run it for the card, and I was like, people will join this. Let's go. We only need a healer. Great. I'll join, and
That's
then
really funny.
And then when we get this healer, it'll be great.
Yeah, but that ends the trial, and then
that ends the trial, and you go through all that.
And then it's not the end.
And then
it's not the end.
I think that stupid Xenos thing is just like, if he had just died out there, it would have been fine. I would have moved on. He had to die. I didn't need to spend an extra weird length of time doing this weird duty.
Now, when you're talking to him and he's like, I know you kind of feel this too. What was your answer on that one?
I don't remember what the options were.
One is like, I don't deny it, and then one's, or I think it's like that I can't deny, and then it's like, you can think what you want, and then the other one's like, no matter what, you're not leaving this place or something like that.
Yeah, I think I chose you're not leaving this place alive or whatever.
Oh, I chose the. I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. I play this game because I want to do hard fights. That's why I play this game.
No, because the thrill of like overcoming things is not. Well, I'm here, right? I'm here for an interesting story. You know what? You just broke the interesting story part.
Nah, I like it when you give that answer too, because the line changes a little bit, and like he's all like, "Yeah, I knew it," kind of attitude, and then you just get a fight, and it's like, "Yeah, this is pretty good. This is a pretty good moment. I like this." But I also knew, man, people are going to be so mad about this moment. I saw one person, I think it was on Reddit, who was saying like that ruined the entire game for them. It was like this. It's like, I hate this game now, kind of attitude.
Oh, I don't think it ruins.
Okay.
I don't think it ruins the game. But it definitely, like, it drops my ranking by, like, half a point or so.
Oh, I like it.
Like, because it just feels so out of place and so stupid. The best part of it is how stupid you look punching him.
Oh, I love it.
My nice little Makote over here.
Yeah.
And she's as tall as she can be, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
she's trying.
Like, she's cool, okay? Let me believe I'm tall, and I'm gonna move on. But my arms are not very long.
Yeah.
And I did not connect that punch.
It's funny.
But, you know... It's fine.
The Lalafell scenes with it are really funny.
It's like you're not even high enough to hit his crotch.
Oh, it looks ridiculous, but, I mean, I did it on Melviera, so I'm not short. And it looked fine. I just think it's funny because it's like, oh, canonically we were Monk all along.
I guess. But yeah, that duty was stupid, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to be here. I want to move on. And I want to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost done. You still got like an hour, though.
You still got like 2 hours left. But yeah. Like, I just didn't need Xenos. I didn't like that Xenos had lived from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted that to go away, and then we just brought it back for nothing. Like, there was no point to that. He is legit a platform.
He really doesn't serve much purpose. Because Van Daniel served the important purpose of Zodiark's ambitions and everything. So yeah, Xenos wasn't really necessary. But you know what? That's fine. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed the scene with him earlier at the dinner table. That was a nice dinner.
I hated it.
I'm glad he served me dinner first before he, went into my body.
It was really stupid.
And it is good stuff. I don't really have a huge problem with Xenos. He's not the best villain of the game, but I don't dislike him. So
I don't dislike Xenos through Stormblood. I just don't need him after that.
Yeah, I mean...
And he's there for so long.
He is there. I mean...
He is in the shadows for an entire expansion, and then he finally really gets to be here, and then he does nonsense, annoying things, and then he finally appears at the end. No.
Got him.
I didn't need that. That was really stupid. But we're finally done with Xenos.
Yeah, take him out.
Oh, and then we get...
teleported back.
Get to the end, and they're all sad and worried about me, and I'm like,
oh, are you guys okay?
Now, where does the teleporter come from? Who drops that? And how does it activate?
How does it work? Oh, it's very simple. Alistair used it, as he threw it really far.
Yeah, that whole thing, I was like...
Well, wasn't there like a little portal or something that drops it?
It opens up. I think, and it just drops down. Nobody presses the button. It just goes.
It was pre-pressed. It's fine.
You don't have that long. You're in that scene for longer than a pre-press would allow.
I mean, clearly it's drawn out a little bit for that, atmosphere.
That whole thing was just like, okay. If someone had come through and, helped me out, sure, that's fine. If my choice in person, you did get to choose your person earlier.
Yeah.
And I definitely had to choose your Stola. Who did you choose?
Yestola.
Because it was the best.
I don't know that I don't know that I put anyone on my favorite list. I just chose her because I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. I don't really want to talk to any of you, so I'll just choose her. It's fine.
That was good. I appreciated that. But yeah.
I've heard the Instinian one's pretty funny.
Yeah, but I wasn't going for funny.
So.
Go for a nice, good scene. And I got a nice, good scene with you, Stola.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you get to talk to everybody, basically, after that. It's all over.
You're hanging out, you're talking about the future. And, oh, man, aren't we all so sad that we'll never see each other ever again? This is the last time we'll ever see each other. And then everyone was crying.
Mm-hmm. Especially Instinian.
Oh,
You shed many a tears over my
yeah,
absence.
many tears. And then you just left them all. And you said, never again. I'm on to a new expansion.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fine deal. It's kind of lengthy, and I don't hate it. I was definitely ready to be done by that point, because we were already like 3 or 4 hours over the time that I thought it was going to take me to finish this expansion on this day.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh.
More. You wanted to talk to more people, right?
Okay.
I know you did.
Okay. Like, and it's fine. I like that. It was a good scene. Well, scenes.
It's good.
Except for Alize, always. Alphina's scene was also kind of stupid, but...
It is what it is. Overall, it's a good moment. You go out, you have your final little circle.
Yeah, your little hoorah.
Yeah.
Good, we saved the day.
And then Meteon flies by, and I don't know
what the implication is. Meteon or what that's supposed to be.
I don't know what the implication of that is, and that's a little annoying. I was like, now I don't know, but whatever. And then and then you get a little tease towards Pandemonium.
Yeah, you get your Elidibus scene.
Yeah. And then you're done. You finally get the end, and you're like, oh my god, this took forever.
It did take significantly longer than Shadowbringers, because it's the only other expansion I have ran through on
release
with such fur. And that was... Yeah, it was definitely longer than that.
It's pretty lengthy.
Now, better or worse, I feel like they're about the same value.
Shadowbringers and Endwalker?
Yeah.
I would put Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker all at about at the same point.
Well, Stormblood is better than both of them. But Heaven's Word is better than that.
Nope.
Because we know that's the truth.
God, no.
Anyway, that's irrelevant. You finally reached the end, and that's a good deal. Now, how many role quests have you done? How many storylines have you done through?
I have a job of every role. At least one. I have multiple. I have like 2 healers up. I have 1 melee up. I have a tank up.
Yeah, this is dodging the question.
Have I done the healer, melee, or tank role quest yet? No. I started the first quest up, and then things happened, and I got distracted. And now I'm just leveling things, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to those.
The melee one is fine. It's not great. It's not as bad as it was in Shadowbringers, where it kind of sucked. but the caster one's good. I get to be over there in Ishgard, doing my wonderfulness.
I thought it was okay.
Hanging out with my good friend Emmerich. I didn't really need the other Fortom's son.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his name. It starts with an A. I didn't need that kid. But I liked the dynamics of that and the religious aspects of it, and I thought that was a nice struggle for Emmerich. Like, as he has to kind of go through that and deal with that, and how he kind of has to realize, like, I've been trying to do, like, the right thing, but I really dropped the ball here. And I like that.
My problem is, I don't have the strongest feelings towards Ishgard. Like, I do want to get a house there, because I like it visually. But I'm not, like I like Emmerich. And the brother kid, whatever, he's fine. But, like, I just don't feel that strongly about this place. Never really have. And I'm like, okay, more problems. I kind of like the fight at the end. Like, it's an okay story, but I didn't think it was great. The only other one I've done, though, is the ranged physical. And that's way better. That was great.
I like that. I like Hien and Yuguri finally getting some presents.
Hell yeah.
I was like, yeah, now your waifu Yuguri over here.
Yeah, she's the best girl in this game.
I was like, okay, I still don't think she's magically great.
I'm just saying. I think she's cool. I like her design. But I like that female raw anyway. I like her design.
Dainty women over there.
She's cool. You know, she kills a woman appropriately.
That was a pretty good scene, though. She's like, no hesitation. Boom.
Dead. Like, all right.
Nothing.
Good.
Get
out of here. Yeah, no, I like that.
I will protect Hien.
You get to hang out with Gosetsu some more. And I love Gosetsu.
Yeah, Gosetsu. I really like that Gosetsu came back. I like that he came back as a healer.
It's
I like
cool.
his little shield bubble thing with, like, the warding strips on it. I was like, yeah, buddy. That does look really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that's a really cool role quest. Probably my favorite, if we even include Shadowbringers. I think that was really cool.
It's the second best one in Endwalker. The tank one is the best.
Tank one's the best.
I really like the tank one.
I'll get to it.
Like, I really enjoyed getting to hang out in Gridania, because I really like Gridania.
Yeah.
It's my favorite place, basically, and I really like Kana Senna. She's great.
Yeah,
and then you just get to hang out with her and learn about her a little bit and just do good things. And you make peace with the forest, and I'm like, yeah, my friend, the forest, we're just a bunch of tree huggers over here, and that's fine. It's fine. But she has to deal with a lot of, like, struggle, like, leadership decisions and stuff, and I really liked that. I felt like her struggle there was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do these things. I just haven't done it. I've just been like, I just don't want to get my leveling done.
Oh, we got healer. Oh, yeah, we go to Udal Garabanya. That was good. I like that. You're just hanging out with Fordola. I appreciate that. She's really begrudging against you all the time.
I believe it.
And I'm like, yeah. But you get some nice backstory with her, and when she's, like, struggling the whole time. I'm like, yeah, girl, I like you. I don't really like that Arnvald feels like he's in love with you. Like, the whole way through, I was like, oh.
No, you know.
Buddy, you're in a wheelchair. Like,
maybe she's into that.
No, she's not. She's just not. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was kind of the weird part about that. And then we get what? That's it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. And then we got, we'll start with Dreamscape on the extra dungeons.
Good old Dreamscape. That's the better one.
That's a lie. That is a straight lie. Yeah, no. Dreamscape is fine. I don't like the final fight at all.
I like it.
I kind of just hate the whole thing about it. You know what I hate about it, though? In particular?
You can't see the dragon come down behind you because your camera sucks.
Well, that's pretty easy to figure out where that's coming in, because that's a nice tell. And it's not behind you, it's on the sides.
Well, Omega comes
Omega, but the dragon is on the side.
The dragon's on the side. Yeah.
Don't give me your sass. When I say the right way and orientation, for the life of me, I do not understand. The facing, the paying the piper mechanic or whatever, I can go forward and I can go backward. It does not matter if I don't move, going right or left. If I just sit right where I'm at, I will always walk backwards. Every single time. And I do not understand. Something is wrong, or something is wrong on my end. I don't know.
Maybe there's some like very tiny bit of drift on a controller or something. I don't know.
It only affects that fight, though.
Yeah,
I can do that mechanic just fine everywhere else. It's just in Dreamscape.
I don't know. I don't have those problems. So.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's partially what I hate about it. But other than that, yeah, it feels disruptive the whole time with the dragon and Omega, and you're just like, okay, I get it.
I mean, yeah, at base. It is what it is.
Yeah, but it's multiple times.
It is what it is.
It's annoying.
But no, I like that one.
Like, I like why we're there. I like the story of why we're there. Better than the Loporrees, like, we screwed up. Will you fix all it? Yes.
Surprising.
Yes, I will go fix it.
You would mess up?
But I like Smileton.
Smileton.
I like that a lot. I really like the music.
Yeah. It's pretty...
I haven't seen the orchestral drop.
It's pretty quality.
Wow.
I've seen the minions from, like, every dungeon.
Yeah, you've also done them all about 17,000 times because you leveled your trust all the way up.
I haven't done Smileton or Dreamscape a whole lot, though. I mean, I've done them a bit, but not a whole lot.
I think I've only cleared Smileton 4 times. And then Dead Ends I've only cleared twice, I think.
Oh, I've done that one.
And then I've cleared Dreamscape, I think, 2 or 3 times.
But I was the first one in my FC that hit 90. And then every time somebody would get to that point, I'd be like, bring me along, so I could get all the bonus aphorism. Because I was like, yeah, I need that. Go pocket that. Thank you.
That's fair. Yeah, and then Fates suck, as always. I feel like there's less variety in Fates.
I mean, I just see a Fate and I go, yep, that's part of this game. I don't think much about it.
Yeah.
It just is.
Garlemald is the worst area for Fates. Have you done a bunch of Fates there yet?
I've done like 10 or something.
Oh, there's so many of them that are just so annoying.
I don't know.
And there's one where you, like, protect these 3 boxes and things only spawn 1 at a time for each of these 3 boxes. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like A Realm Reborn is still going to be the worst as far as some of these things.
That's super annoying. Or you get the stupid things that race across, and those things, they won't stand still for the first bit because they got to race across.
Of course. They gotta do it. Gotta go fast.
There's so many of Fates in that area that I'm like, I don't want to do these. I don't. I hate all of them. They're stupid. I am max rank in that area, though, because I did a bunch of Fates there to level Gunbreaker and Dancer. But I don't know if there's any content to talk about before we get to Pandemonium, right?
I like I think the extremes, mention them a little bit. A Zodiac extreme, I think, is okay. I like the wall of fire mechanic. That's pretty cool. But in general, it's okay. But I like Heidelin's extreme fight, and I just like the crystal mechanics, the light wave mechanic, where you have to go behind the crystals and everything. I think that's pretty cool. We don't use a whole lot of line of sight mechanics in this game.
So we overused it here.
And yeah, we went really hardcore with it. But I thought it was pretty neat. I liked it.
I think it's fine once. Like, if it had just been the 3 waves coming from the top, and we did it once, that's fine. The second round is really kind of stupid and annoying.
No, I like it. I
think
it's
annoying to, like, figure out how I'm going to be able to do things and, like, weave things in there, and it's
play
unpleasant.
a better job.
No.
Play Monk.
This could be like I suck. That's what this could be. Well, Monk has no positionals or whatever, right? You just get everything given to you. Whatever, Monk. That's what that is. I mean, I will probably not clear that again. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll clear Zodiac at some point.
When it's easy. When you can just power
I feel like it's probably
it.
already pretty easy.
I don't know. I haven't done it in Party Finder at all. So.
I don't know. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care enough about extremes to do them most of the time, unless there's a real purpose. I do like the cats, though.
Your cats. I got a cat.
I helped you get that cat. You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I needed it.
I rolled like a 4 on that mount. Don't worry.
I know the pain though.
I've rolled really crap. Like, I got really good RNG on a lot of these card runs for dungeons and stuff over some other people that I've seen. But then I've rolled like really crap after that, and I feel like that's where my RNG went, and that's fine. That's pretty fine.
Well, I'm a little scared because on E12S when we cleared that, I won the first Eden mount, and then I'm like, oh yes, great, I really wanted this mount, and now I've gotten the mount first again, and I'm like, my time is coming up. I'm so screwed.
You are probably pretty screwed coming up here. Don't worry.
This Pandemonium tier, I'm gonna be the last one to get whatever mount it will be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this mount will be.
I have no idea.
Like, I don't have any really good. It's gonna be Phoenix. I feel like
that'd be cool.
I mean, I have Firebird. You now also have Firebird.
I do. Since I can now solo the Warring Triad, sure can.
On Warrior.
On Warrior. Yeah, easy. Could I have farmed those years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, you could have.
But I didn't.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably going to be Phoenix. That's my guess, if I'm going to think about it. And I don't hate the Phoenix thing. Like, I like that design of Phoenix, but I already have Firebird, and Firebird looks better.
Oh, I like this Phoenix more than I like Firebird.
No. It's kind of neat that it's kind of pharaoh looking, but I don't need the weird 3 head that we do nothing with. I feel like we gotta do something with that in Savage. I was waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, that's gotta be a Savage thing.
Neither of us do any real crafting or gathering.
Oh.
I did, do a little bit of crafting, and I got my culinary into 81. And I hung out with my Vieira friend over there for the studium delivery things. And that was kind of cool, I guess. The story wasn't uninteresting. I don't care. Crafting isn't fun.
I think my highest craft is like 30 or something. It's like, yeah, I don't care about crafting. I have a gatherer. I have botanist at 80. And you know when I'll level that to 90? Maybe in a year and a half or so.
I mean, if we get a beast tribe, I feel like, that'll work, but
I still haven't finished the beast tribe from Shadowbringers for the gatherer, because I just do it so rarely.
You still haven't finished with the Katari?
No, I do it like once every 3 months. I'll go over and do it.
Aren't you really close on that too?
I still got probably 10 days of it left.
Oh, that's decently close. Let's be real.
I'm just like, God, I hate this stupid stuff. It's not for me.
I mean, yeah, no, I will get them up eventually. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't care enough about it. But yeah, you get that. And then I don't know if there's anything else.
It's not much. I mean, we could talk about the Pandemonium raid story, but I don't... Like, you got La Brea's son, so that's kind of something, I guess.
Yeah, well, before we go talk about the raid.
Oh, okay.
Let's think of the raid, the last thing.
I don't think there's anything else, so...
What do you think about... So you've leveled Summoner.
Yeah, I got Summoner up.
How do you like the changes on Summoner?
It's fine in Dungeon. I like AoE because it's just fun to blast things super fast. But it's very simple. It's too easy to really enjoy and like harder progression. So I don't love that. But I also have Red Mage up, which is what I'm going for for this next tier. Originally, I was going to go Bard, but it's really hard to do callouts on Bard, so I'm not doing Bard. But I think Bard's good. Red Mage, I think, feels good. I got Ninja up, which is... I want to mess around with it a little bit more. It's interesting. Like, it feels a little different in some ways. Feels a little bit more, rigid, though. But we'll see. And then I have Warrior up, White Mage, Scholar, obviously. I've even played it in several dungeons. Crazy enough.
Woo-hoo.
And then, right now I'm leveling Sage.
Sage cool? Liking Sage?
Yeah, you know, I think it's pretty... I just did Tower of Zot on it before we started this podcast. And I let the Dark Knight die. But I don't know. I felt like these just burned all of their cooldowns pretty quickly, though. And our DPS wasn't super high, so the large pull was lasting a little bit.
Now, is this the large pull right before the final boss? No? Okay.
Before the second boss.
Because I have tanked that dungeon 3 times.
Yeah.
And I died in that pool every single time. And I don't... Like, I did the same thing I do in every other pool, right? I did nothing different.
Yeah.
And I don't...
I never had any
I don't know.
problems on White Mage, but White Mage is one simpler than Sage, and I just feel more powerful in its, like, pure healing capabilities. Sage, as a healer, doesn't feel like you do a lot of healing. It's more like preventative healer, which it is a barrier healer, like, I get it, but like Haima and Panhaima and whatnot are really useful abilities. They also have 2-minute cooldowns, so you have to be pretty smart with it. And generally I've done perfectly fine in all the dungeons doing big pulls. This guy just kind of dropped really fast there at the end, like, we were doing good, and then you had 10% health, and I was like, okay, and then he died, and I was like, well, we didn't wipe, I kept the DPS up, and then we were good. But it was just like, okay, I don't know if that was on me or if you just let all your cooldowns drop. I don't really know. But I think Sage is pretty cool. I feel like it doesn't have great mana management.
No.
I burn through mana really fast, but I'm also really aggressive in doing damage and whatnot. I don't stop damaging if I can help it. And I think it eats it up pretty fast. And a lot of it's like OGCD heals gives like 7% mana back, which is nice, but I don't have to use them super frequently all the time. And so, I don't want to waste the resource just to get mana back. This isn't Scholar, so...
Well, where are you at with that, though?
83.
Yeah, I feel like that could change. That's a lot of levels that things could change and maybe be better.
Yeah, we gotta see it at the end. But, White Mage was fun. Machinist I got up. I feel like the addition of Chainsaw was a little bit too much. I'm actually not a huge fan of it.
Oh?
It's too much juggling for the job.
Mm.
I feel like it's too much of a juggle for what I want out of it, but it's fine.
And that's it, right? That's the only things you have up right now. Neither of us has played Reaper.
No, I've unlocked it.
I've not even done that.
I got my heart bar set up, and I'm like, alright, do this later.
And then, yeah, so I got Dragoon, clearly. The best job in the game. And that feels like Dragoon still. It's good. Like, things are smooth. I don't like this new sound on the upgraded Chaos Thrust thing. Oh, like, I've gotten used to it, and it's not as bad and as jarring as it was when we got there, but...
Yeah.
I still want it to go away.
Yeah.
I do.
Too bad.
But it probably won't. But yeah, your additional stuff is fine. I don't magically have a gap closer when I need it. Because, Spine Shatter is not a gap closer. But that's what Dragoon has basically all of the same wonderfulness and all of the same problems it already had.
Yeah, it's just the job.
Which is fine. It's good. It's still fun. And then I got Dancer, and I'm not a great dancer by any means, but I like this new bird move. I really like it. It's kind of weird because it's a cone, and I don't know that I have a cone move on anything else in my repertoire.
Good old Warrior has a cone.
Yeah, I don't have Warrior. But I like it. It sounds cool. It looks cool. It feels cool. I just like it. The new dance it hits really hard at like that 90 dance, Star Shower dance or whatever.
What's the potency on it?
I think it's a 600 potency, but it's the direct hit crit.
Oh, yeah.
And so that
makes sense.
Yeah, because I only really used it in like the trial for the range physical thing for the role quest, but that hit nicely at like 25,000, just bam, And I was like, all right. Like, it feels cool to hit because it hits hard, but it doesn't look cool or feel cool.
Sure.
But otherwise, Dancer's just more busy, I feel like. But I didn't really play Dancer a whole lot before this, so... I saw some people say that they really hated, like, the changes on, like, how procs work and stuff on Dancer, because it really screws up things somehow. I don't know. I don't know Dancer well enough to comment on that. But I guess, yeah, it misaligns things to where, like, you can't get as much out somehow. I don't know. Maybe they were just crazy, but then, like, a Gunbreaker is Gunbreaker. I have less to say about the changes on Gunbreaker than I do Dragoon.
Yeah.
Like, it's Gunbreaker. Yeah. If you liked it, you liked it. If you don't like it, sucks to be you, don't level it.
Yeah.
And then my good friend Astro, which I felt like I had to relearn a little bit. Like, it was primarily the same.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Couple changes, for sure.
Some decent changes. But I feel like it works. I feel like it fits better in the raid environment. But I still, even after leveling through that and doing a bunch of crap on that, still fail at divination. Because I just feel like I'm working towards divination. Because that's the mindset I'm in. Yeah. And then I just, like, I'm gotten pretty good at I'll hit the first one. And so we all get the nice deal. And then that 2 minute, no, we fail that all the time. And that's whatever. But the card system, I don't like that I don't have the 3 stacks of redraw. Because, you get redraw every card you draw.
Yeah.
Which is kind of useless. Because I generally don't have to use a redraw to like, make things work decently. Right? I'm never always trying for 3 because I don't care that much. But I can generally get 3 pretty easily. But then there's the rounds where you're like, how many cards have I pulled? Oh, like 6? They've all been the sun. Okay, come on. But you only get your 1 redraw.
Yeah.
Right, and so I felt like when I had the 3 redraw, I could easily, like, get through that. Very rarely did I pull all 3 redraws, or even have to pull all 3 and just get garbage, right? Very rarely did that happen.
I feel like I got it a lot.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, and so I don't like that as a change. I also played Red Mage, as well as you, and that is equally as not good as it already was, because Red Mage is not for me. Red Mage just kind of sucks, and it feels the same level of suck.
I liked Red Mage both in Stormblood and Shadowbringers, but I think it feels great here.
It's just because you're wrong. That's all the classes I have up. I don't know. Anything else great you want to talk about?
I have one heavy criticism. There's not enough new music in this expansion. It reuses a lot of old tunes, which isn't bad, but I think new music is something to look forward to. And I think a lot of the music we got is pretty good, with a couple exceptions, or one main exception. But overall, I just think we needed a little bit more. I do really love the final theme from the 4th boss in Pandemonium.
That track in Pandemonium is not that great. Like, it's serviceable in fight, but I do not think it's that good.
Oh no, I listened to it on like an hour loop the other day while I was riding. I was like, yeah, that is good.
An hour loop.
Indeed.
Okay. No, but yeah, no, there's very few new tracks. I agree. There's a lot of nonsense of like, this is just a different version of this, or like the trailer music, or... It was rather disappointing. But that's fine. They nailed the trailer music, and then they gave up after. They're like, we'll just make serviceable music from here on out, or music we've already done. We're good. We're done. Another thing I would add is that I don't feel like it's great that we don't have special fates in every new zone. We only get the 2 achievement fates.
It does feel a little lazy.
We're just on the downward trend of less content.
Some people think so. I think the track record doesn't show otherwise, but I think it's far too early to really say.
I mean, that's fair. And you've done Chi. Yeah.
I've done Chi. I've not done the Thavnir one.
The Thavnir one's much more like the Tempest one.
Ah.
In my opinion. I don't know, I got my 2 clears of Chi and my cool level checker mount.
I've only done 1 clear. I haven't tried. I've been doing other things.
The way to do it is you wait for maintenance, and then everything will spawn pretty close proximity to each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably smart.
And now you can jump worlds. Maybe not at peak times, but you can jump worlds, which is convenient. Anything else you need to talk about for this wonderful expansion?
Not really. I think that covers everything.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this wonderful bonus content, make sure you like, subscribe. You go tell your favorite Scion. We know that's not Alize, so don't even bother.
I thought she was your favorite.
Yeah, is that what you got from this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was like a love-hate relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
False. Bad ideas. Don't put bad ideas like that out there.
Okay. Well, I'm
We're gonna
telling
start sending in Alize plushies and things and stuff.
I'm telling Istola that you are betraying her.
Wow. Oh, that hurts. That's mean. Well, yeah, if you want to see more 14 content, you let us know. Kind of maybe what you want to see or things like that.
For Final Fantasy content in general, we are well versed in the series.
But yeah, you let us know what you want to see and hear about and all the wonderfulness. We'll probably do patch episodes as they come out for 14 because we're both going to be caught up in doing it. That's about it. What are you giving this?
Well, for the 6.0 MSQ, it's going to follow the trend of Shadowbringers and Stormblood before it and get an 8 out of 10. And then I would give the Pandemonium Raid, because there is a cool vampire at the end, an 8.
I'm giving main scenario 6.0 a 7 out of 10. And Pandemonium gets an 8 out of 10.
Have at us.